The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
20.
let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You ping!
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Overreaction Monday, May 19th, 2025. This program begins now. Sports are happening all around us. What a weekend of sports. Now, obviously, we're fresh off a 4-day weekend because the PGA Championship had taken over ESPN's airwaves Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on CBS in the afternoon, watching absolute magic happen. Scottie Scheffler wins again. Now, pause for a moment and just understand that this guy who was described as a bag of milk, a guy with no personality, a guy who, if he's the face of golf, golf is going to be in a bad place. People were saying those actual things. AJ Hawk actually said those things at one point. He goes, the guy's got no pizzazz, I believe is what he said. This guy has found pizzazz and doesn't need pizzazz. Watching him golf is absolutely spectacular. What he does to a golf course with a golf ball is just something that I understand that Tiger Woods took over the world whenever he was golfing, and Sunday Red and his electricity and everything like that. And I understand way back Jack was the guy. I understand all that stuff. What this guy does on such a consistent basis is absurd. I think he's missed 4 cuts in like 7 years or so. I forget what it is.
4 years.
Yeah, 4 years. The guy has missed 4 cuts. Like what he has accomplished. Shout out to Kyle Porter, by the way, doing a lot of research this weekend. Seeing a lot of Kyle Porter tweets this weekend. We appreciate the hell out of you making the sports world better. 45 top fives over the last 4 years, 18 wins, 3 majors, 2 players, 1 gold medal, 4 missed cuts, $75 million in on-course money that he has won. Now, granted, 141 weeks at world number 1 is obviously not the best. Tiger had it for like however many years or whatever it is, and I'm sure Scotty is well on his way to do that. He is the one. Everybody thought maybe, Jordan would do this. Everybody thought maybe Rory would do this. Everybody thought maybe Brooks would do this. Everybody thought maybe Rombo would do this.
Maybe.
They all got a lot of money to go play in another league. And not Rory, but obviously when you talk about DeChambeau and you talk about Rombo and you talk about Dustin Johnson and you talk about a lot of great golfers, and I assume Scottie Scheffler was also offered $300 million, $400 million to go to LIV. He turned that down to stay the course at the PGA. I know the PGA Tour is obviously very thankful for that, but the game of golf as a whole should be incredibly thankful that we get to watch this guy golf every single weekend basically throughout the rest of the summer. And what he did down there in Quail Hollow, great name, great course, difficult conditions, was nothing short of marvelous. And on Sunday, Championship Sunday, there was so much going on. There was a Game 7 in the NBA. I was watching Oklahoma City and Denver battle. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go see what's going on in the golf. I go over there. Holy hell. LIV is making a run at this thing. DeChambeau is going. Rombo is back. We asked this last Wednesday. Does Rombo even golf anymore? Have we seen Rombo? He does. He was back in it. He was pressing Scottie Scheffler on Sunday, who had a 5-stroke lead going in. Didn't have his best start. His driver was going way left seemingly every single time. It was a grind. Rombo's going to get him. Then Rombo tin cup that thing.
Yes, he did.
He finished bogey, double bogey, double bogey.
Ooh, yikes.
Scottie Scheffler ends up winning by like 6 strokes whenever it was a tight one the entire time. That's 16. Old buddy bogeys that. Then you know what? 17. Need to make up for it because Rombo's not going to give it up. He's got a 3-stroke lead on it. What are you going to do? Well, I'm going to go for this thing. Well, you're going to put it in the water. Okay, that's immediately going to put you behind.
Yikes.
He would double bogey 17, then he would double bogey 18, and he would inevitably end up in like 8th place or something like that. Shout out to Rom making a run. Shout out to Rom being back. Shout out to Rom going for it. But also shout out to Scottie Scheffler being an absolute monster as a golfer and putting golf on his back, basically.
Yeah.
Okay? He obviously went to jail last year, about a year ago at this exact time. He's obviously been a part of some storylines. He's obviously been a part of greatness. But whenever he's golfing and whenever his name is on that little marquee right there, it is worthy of a watch because he's not flashy, seemingly very calm all the time. He tries to stay in the moment. Now, on Saturday, with a multiple stroke lead at a major, he stuck around and fixed his grip. So I think this guy is a psycho.
Without a doubt.
When it comes to golf, this has fully consumed him. He plays super cool whenever he's reacting. But if you're working on your grip for a couple hours after already having a 6-stroke lead and having the best day that anybody's had on that course, you're a psycho. You are all in. You are fully committed. And after he wins this thing, he takes it in because he knew he didn't have his best stuff, throws that down. And what do you say right here? That looked like a fuck yeah to me. That looked like a fuck. So I want to let you know, Scotty, I appreciate you letting the moment get to you. I appreciate you showcasing your emotions. I appreciate you showcasing being a human. And we appreciate the hell out of you, Scotty. What a tournament. That was why we were off Thursday, Friday, then his family, obviously. And then in the scoring table where he has to sign it, he had to give a couple things to distract his kid. Very relatable.
Yep.
I mean, like, everything he did this weekend was awesome. And we got 4-day weekend out of it, which was pretty nice. We hope you guys had a great 4 days. But there's a lot going on. That's 9-year NFL vet. Ladies and gentlemen, Darius J. Butler is here. What'd you say, D-Bud?
No, it was just good to see Bryson stick around. Congratulate him. I know they're both Texas guys, but, you know, like a lot of guys just get the hell out of there once they lose. But he lost. He kind of stunk it up down the stretch as well, but he stuck around. I think that was like an hour maybe after he was done, did some interviews, and then gave him a good dap, man. But yeah, Scotty's an absolute dog, absolute weapon. He does. He even had you in here getting into the slot this morning.
Out of pocket.
Good call, D-Bud.
Yeah.
Good call. It's a big weekend for me because the PGA Tour social media has seemingly really, now granted, thank you for the love, but a lot of the shit I've been seeing, I don't know if it's my algorithm showing me or if it's more stuff that I'm liking, they showed a behind view. What I've been always worried about the left arm. I've always worried. That's
torque.
That's a right hand drag. That's coming out of the pocket right there. I watched this video 50 times, and I was like, seems like the right arm's doing a lot more than what I ever gave it credit for.
Yeah.
So obviously I stopped in here at the Sim this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
After watching this video, baby girl goes down to sleep. I'm like, babe, I got to get over to Thunderdome real quick. I got to work on this.
Got some bug.
I'll tell you what, I might be back.
Okay.
I might be back.
Okay.
I was hitting that thing. I was making solid contact.
Okay.
PXGs were sending straight. Didn't have the sim on because once again, the sim
Yeah, it
never
doesn't
works.
work. So.
But it does. There is a space for me to hit into.
Right.
True.
Got the right hand. Looks like that's what you need.
I think you got it.
You come out of pocket.
Yep.
It looks good.
I think you need to. I think
Get in the slot.
the what?
The slot.
Yeah, I like those slots.
Yeah.
Slot it.
I like to get in that slot. Golf is amazing.
It is.
Yeah. Captivates everybody. I assume this number is going to be gigantic, especially with the LIV boys making a run, which I thought you were going to talk about. You put over DeChambeau. Obviously, he's a LIV guy YouTuber. YouTube is fantastic. His content is great. He's good for golf. Wish he was back in the PGA. I've come full circle on this.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, big time.
Because you saw who's number one in the highest paid athletes? Cristiano Ronaldo. $275 million. He's playing for one team in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, can't trust everything
Wait, 275 in a year?
I think so, yeah.
Again, can't trust everything from there.
Yeah, you're right. That particular site does make things up. And also, how do you know how much money people are making? Every time anybody's value or worth is put on the internet, that's a projection, a guess by most people. Scotty, I think DeChambeau was up there, Rom was up there, $100 million. So, like Dustin Johnson, Rombo, DeChambeau, Bubba, Brooks, these dudes being offered hundreds of millions of dollars. In my eyes, I'm like, you got to take that. Yeah. Like, you have to take that. What we didn't realize is that we literally never see him golf again. No. Like, that was I don't think I knew that was around the corner. I think a lot of golf people were saying, hey, you need to think about this from a bigger picture here. These dudes are gone. And remember, there was a time where they weren't even going to play in the majors, and the majors were like, nah, we ain't playing this game. We're going to let them in there. So thank God for the majors getting a showcase it. But we were literally asking on Wednesday, does Rom even golf anymore? Yep. And then all of a sudden, we see him making a run at it on a Sunday. It's like, okay, Rom, good to see you back. Now, he's used to playing 54 holes. Yeah. And he even quoted at the end saying, man, that was fun. It was good to be back. It was good to be back in an actual tournament.
It was fun.
It was good.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did. What he said.
Here he is.
John, you played a hell of a round of golf today and some tough breaks down the stretch. Just how close did it feel to being really special?
It was very close. God, it'd been
thought about it.
A while since I had
man.
that much fun on the golf course. It's 15 holes. Even the first 7 of the day where I was swinging well and things just weren't happening, but I kept myself in there, make the pars that I needed, and then play really good golf from the 8th to the 15th. Right, it's just mistakes around the green that that bunker shot on 14. I thought I landed it what I needed to. It's just softer bounce and a misread, and then what to say about 15.
It's great to golf again.
And the last 3 holes is
people watching.
Feels alive.
It's a tough pill to swallow right now.
Yeah, he feels a lot. That is what he said. Let's go to Talk Today by Boss Connor at Ty Schmidt. We're all kind of on the same page. You got to do what you got to do. Rombo also humble beginnings from Spain, comes over here, golfs in this entire thing. He's offered 250, 300 million, whatever it is. It's like you got to do what you got to do at that exact moment. But it's great to see him golfing. DeChambeau, every time he pops up at a major. Reebok, interesting sponsor. Them trying to make the comeback sweet.
Love
him
it.
also saying, need better golf balls. I'm hitting the same golf balls as these other people that don't hit the ball as much. He's making new clubs. He's making new golf balls. Obviously, his YouTube, his content is great. But seeing them golf together was awesome this weekend. And I think I understand why all the golf community was so negative towards us, being like, they got to take the money. They got to take the money. And the golf community was like, we're never going to see these guys. We really haven't. I don't know how they get that fixed, legitimately.
Me neither. And the thing that sucks the most, like guys like DJ, like they had their run early on, and they're still fun to watch. But like anytime he plays in a major, you look at the leaderboard, he misses the cut, and it's like he's 12 over. It's like, was he playing left-handed? Like, what the hell is he doing? But Rahm, like the lasting image we had, remember he won the Masters. We had him on the show. And then right after that, he went to LIV. So like he left when it was like, oh, he's about to go. We're about to have Rahm versus Scotty versus Rory every single week. And then he did. He left, and we didn't hear anything about it. I mean, I guess the good thing for him is he gets to fly to Hong Kong this week and try to get a LIV victory. So that's nice. But
yeah, but hopefully they're playing that new Morgan Wallen album. 37 songs of heat, by the way, with an interlude and an intro, so I guess 35 plus songs. Absolute heat. Maybe they'll play Big Sky there, Parker McCollum. How about Snoop Dogg's Is It a Crime? Brand new album is out. A lot of new music was dropped over the weekend. Great music. Morgan, you can just go ahead and listen to that for whatever, 3 hours straight of that entire thing. Bangers. Is It a Crime with Snoop? We got a couple bops in there. Big Sky, Parker McCollum, who was doing a big-time rodeo down there in Dallas this week. Absolute banger. Hopefully they're playing that down in Hong Kong.
Right.
Because
I think they will be.
I think that's Rahm's biggest ordeal, is the same as me. Hard to find LIV. Then whenever we find it, it's like, why is DJ Khaled screaming, we the best, while this guy is trying to win a fucking golf tournament, right? There has to be. I understand we want to go against the grain, and we want to change things.
Louder.
Yeah, I get it. They got golf pretty much figured out. We don't need the Mickey Mouse shit on the screen. I don't need music playing. If they want to wear shorts, cool. I don't care about the shorts. Do the shorts.
Sure.
But the whole other thing, it's like tough to take.
We're far enough in now. It's not the players' fault. It's LIV's fault. They need to make it more fun to watch. They need to make it so people actually give a shit. Their tournaments, no one cares to watch. No one knows who wins. No one knows anything. So going into this, the only one in the LIV Tour I cared about was Bryson DeChambeau. Now, thankfully, Rahm's still playing pretty good golf, so he made up for that this weekend. But it's their fault. I don't think it's the players' fault at all.
Agreed. How about shotgun start?
Yeah. I mean, that's
can't have it.
We're watching the end of that thing, and obviously Scotty doesn't tee off till 2:40 or whatever, which is when CBS's coverage starts. So congrats to CBS getting that.
Yeah.
But watching Scotty follow Rombo, who's 2 holes ahead, and then see that is a part of watching the golf. That's a part of the watching golf experience.
Adds the drama to it.
Yeah, but we got a guy on 17. He's coming around. He's got to finish on 14. It's like, okay, dude, at what point do you just acknowledge that maybe this hasn't been the best rollout? Because the golfers are obviously electrifying.
Bingo, exactly.
DeChambeau is one of the most electrifying golfers on earth. Now, nobody's more electrifying than Scotty Scheffler, but DeChambeau is must-watch.
Sure.
And somehow that hasn't happened.
Yeah, it's still so early on. Like, if you think about any type of league, any type of legacy league, like if you go and have an NFL, you can take 8 of the top quarterbacks. It's going to be tough to get us to actually go and watch it and take it serious and all the production shit.
True.
Aside from it. So you do have the best players in the world, the majors. I think the majors are now a much bigger draw, I know, at least for me, to watch these guys. And it is getting easier to find LIV, now with the Fox deal and other things. But like I said, it's just
Is that on Fox now?
Yeah.
I think so, FS1.
Good news. I just looked it up. The Hong Kong Open starts at 12 a.m.
Okay. So
midnight run.
Yeah.
Midnight run. At least we'll be able to see them.
Outside the world.
I don't mind the world global stuff because WWE obviously does it. And when you go over there and you experience, it's like these fans deserve it. Like these fans deserve us to be here and scheduled at their time. So I don't mind that with LIV, with how international they are. But to Rom's point, it's like it's hard to take it serious, especially with golf, with how much history and prestige, which I don't think we take the money, is what I kept saying. I mean, still take the money.
It's tough. And Rob's been, I think he's finished top 10 in every LIV event. Like you said, most people aren't watching him.
We had no idea.
But he's still playing good golf. Bryson, we know he's playing good golf. You know, the more growth in the YouTube golfers, like Scotty, he just played with Grant, Grant a few weeks ago. So the more we see these guys, and obviously the more we see them playing against each other, that's what we all want. Hopefully, we've been hearing that they're going to get it figured out, then hearing that it's not going to get figured out.
I think there's some deals going on right now in the Middle East, right?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Maybe this would be a part of the let's get that done as well for the good of the game, for the good of golf as a whole. Go ahead.
But PGA, I mean, this is the whole reason.
Crown Prince, God bless him.
God bless him.
Big Turkey.
God bless him.
God bless him. I understand what we did with LIV, but let's make it watchable. I think that would be cool. How much money you've invested in the thing? Let's make it watchable.
One marquee event that people care about. Just give us one a year. That's the start, and they don't even have that year, and they've had plenty of time to build that.
That'll never happen, though. I mean, the majors are the majors because of how the history and everything like that.
No, there's elevated events now.
Of course, no one gives a shit about
Whoa!
it. And we are talking about the PGA now because of what LIV did. Like, let's not forget what the PGA was that we didn't know about during it. How everyone has to pay their own way. If you don't make the cut, you make no money. You're actually losing thousands of dollars because of your stay. Like, that was all very legitimate things. And the part that does set the tie brought up, like the last thing you remember of Rahm winning the major, the last thing you remember about Cam Smith, him winning over in England. Like how awesome all of that. He was gone immediately after that. But like the entire LIV thing worked because of the business, like because of the money, and it changed the PGA. Like what LIV did for golf in general was great, but now it's come full circle now where it's like, hey, the PGA is now operates the way it should. Everyone's getting paid. Everyone's getting more money. You can get your, tour card, and then you can make
elevated events.
The elevated events with more money in the pool, and with, sometimes when those larger guys aren't in it gives other dudes opportunities. So the LIV thing as a whole was a complete success. It's just the tournaments themselves don't matter as much. But I mean, you brought up the Game 7 on Sunday. Like, if there isn't a major on Sunday and it's just a normal PGA Tour event without everybody in it, it wouldn't have had that, like, hey, let me go check it out. Unless we found out, hey, they're on the 15th hole and it's a one-stroke lead or three guys are tied. Like, you're not turning over to the PGA Tour.
See, I disagree with you. Okay. I'll have golf on in the background Saturday, Sunday.
Always.
I'll just have it playing in the background.
Sure.
I just... Now, granted, having somebody that I know's name on there, boy, that certainly helps. Because if
you wouldn't have turned it on if Vegas was still at the top.
Johnny Vegas?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Lead.
Like background.
Okay.
That's
all I'm talking about.
To your point, though, Scotty's always on that list on Sunday.
Bingo. Scotty's playing in all these things, though. The guy is, like, committed to the game.
Yeah, completely. But you're locked in on the PGA. Like, background noise in PGA Championship, like, you're watching every single shot.
It's a major. Agreed. Completely. But if they have a good leaderboard on any of them, which I think if the LIV golfers were around would be a much more prevalent type thing.
For sure.
I think would be good. So why don't they go shake each other's hands?
Please.
Agreed.
Go shake each other's hands. And if you need to make up for the money that needs to be given out to Rory and Scotty and all these other guys, figure it out. Feels like you can do that. Golf is awesome whenever it's rolling. Now, you talk about the NBA. Denver Nuggets just get run out of the fucking gym.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Oklahoma City just does it. Congrats, Oklahoma City. They are the odds-on favorites to win the NBA title. Now, 7 straight years of a new champion is what the NBA is talking about, as they should, all the way back to the Toronto Raptors, if you do recall, in 2019, having a big-time win for all of Canada. Yeah. Remember that? I remember us celebrating all that. Then it goes to the Lakers, then the Bucks, obviously the bubble for the Lakers. Then the Bucks, remember that? Giannis dreams of those days still. The Warriors, Nuggets, Celtics, and then who will it be this year? I don't think Oklahoma City, Minnesota, and Indiana haven't won, and then the Knicks haven't won since like 1973 or something like that. I forget the exact date. It's been a long time. So obviously all these cities are going to be fully invested. All these cities are going to be incredibly excited. All these cities know that parade season could be just about a month away.
That's right.
Oklahoma City, versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. SGA versus Ant. I can't wait to watch both of these crowds do what they do. That Oklahoma City crowd feels like a college crowd.
Oh, you're going.
It feels like a college crowd whenever they're in the way they, because everybody does a white out or a blue out or whatever. The way that they do what the colleges does with the striping of the thing, and then everybody bought in. It's like I love the atmosphere at OKC. I love the way that team kind of buys into it. A lot of people hating this team. A lot of people do not like this OKC team.
Really?
Small market, had a great year. SGA's big smile, like the way he is.
Chet Holmgren.
You would think they'd be very affable. People hate the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Why is that?
I think it's because
I think Chet Holmgren's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Chet, I think it's also
the foul merchant stuff.
for SGA, and then Hartenstein, I believe.
Yeah.
Caruso's a dog. I love watching this team play. And if you run Joker in that Denver Nuggets team, even if Gordon has a pulled hamstring out of the gym, I think you've warranted everybody's respect. And then you think about the Minnesota team, Ant has become like the guy.
Yeah.
Everybody enjoys watching him play. Everybody enjoys the way he operates. Not everybody, I guess, but a majority of sports fans are like, this guy's a dog. We love to watch him play basketball. Then Randall, obviously the trade from the New York Knicks, he's become a massive weapon for this Minnesota team. And then if you think about the sale of the team with A-Rod and them getting involved, it's like storylines galore. Congrats to Minnesota. Then let's go to the East. The East is a rivalry that I don't know if a lot of people know goes back a long, long time. Michael Cole, who's obviously a diehard New York Knicks fan, a guy that I get to work alongside of for Monday Night Raw, GOAT in the commentator world as a whole, certainly in the wrestling world. He said, I did some research. Do you know the New York Knicks lead the all-time series 124 to 122 or something like that?
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
That is the all-time series between them. In the playoffs, we lead the series. I think it's like 5-2 or something like that. I forget what it is. Obviously, everybody remembers Reggie Miller and Spike Lee in the years of the past for the Pacers, and obviously with the Knicks teams. And it's like middle of America taking on the coastal elite, biggest city in the world. It's a great storyline. It's a great dynamic. And then you add in this video that we saw from the weekend.
Oh, nah.
She's trying to save the day. Oh, shit.
Yo. Everybody saw that video captivate the entire internet. And obviously the entire city of New York got buried for it. Like, what a bunch of scumbags. That was a conversation. My conversation was, who was this man that was willing to stare down 100-some people in the streets of New York just days before the Eastern Conference Finals between the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we found him. New York firefighter, Hans Perez. Hey, Hans. How are you, man?
How you doing, guys? I'm good, man. I made it out.
Yes, you certainly did. We appreciate you joining us here. Can I just ask, you're a Pacers, was this a rage bait type thing? You were trying to bait these people into this? Or are you a Pacers fan? How did you become a Pacers fan in New York City?
I'm a Pacers fan for life, man. They got my heart when I was a kid, and I just stuck with them ever since. I loved Reggie Miller, O'Neal, Artest, Steven Jackson Pacers. Then Danny Granger came along, loved the Danny Granger Pacers. Then Paul George came along, loved the Paul George Pacers. Oladipo came, loved the Oladipo Pacers, And now we're here with the Halliburton Pacers, man. The Halliburton Pacers. We're going to get those Knicks, man. We got to get them.
I love that. I love everything about it. What were you thinking was going to happen whenever you went out there? Were you walking home, or how did you kind of find yourself in that situation?
Oh, man, my in-laws live about roughly 20 blocks away around West 50th Street. So I was dropping the kids off. My daughter had a basketball tournament the next day. I was working, couldn't make it. So in-laws were taking them. I said, you know what? I've been wearing my jersey all playoffs long. I've been supporting my Pacers. I've been wearing it all wrong, but I haven't went by Madison Square Garden with the jersey. So I said, I'm not going to go. I don't know if I should go into the mob, but I'm going to go close by, feel the energy, get ready for the series. It could make the series even better when the Pacers beat the Knicks. But I want to feel this. I want to feel this. Last year, Game 7, Pacers-Knicks, I was there. I was at the Garden. I had tickets. I was there with the Pacers jersey. They were a little nicer. It wasn't a Friday night, but now this year, they got me. They got me.
Were you panicked a little bit in there or not? Because I did some research on you. Obviously, you're a firefighter, but also, I believe you have a little sweet science background. Were you nervous in there? What were your thoughts as it was kind of all happening?
All right, at first it was like dudes just talking smack to me. It was a little fun, dudes were just going back and forth. But then it started getting a little more handsy. Dudes wanted the jersey. They said the jersey got to come off. So then I started getting a little nervous. I'm looking, where's the nearest police? Who's gonna save me? Anybody here to save me? Then the mob just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm trying to just walk. I was just trying to walk. I'm like, let me stay calm. Let me walk. I know if I run, who knows what that turns into. I seen that movie before. When you run, someone tripped me or someone, it could get worse. So I just tried to walk. I was like, let me stay calm. Let me just tell guys, calm down, chill. The series didn't start yet. Come on. Trying to say whatever I can to buy me some time.
How'd you get out of there? How did you get out of there? Because we don't see the video, obviously, after that. How did they just stop? They got tired? Your boxing background, the cardio wore them out? What was it?
There wasn't no boxing. The cardio maybe not. But I just kept going. I just kept walking. I just kept saying calm down. Because right there, it pans away. You can't. It looks like I just got swallowed into the mob. But I just go. I keep walking. I'm like, oh, man, I see some cop cars up that way. Maybe if I could just make it up to that next block, I should be hopefully fine. And then so I just try to keep walking, try to stay calm, just pushing dudes' hands off my jersey, blocking. I got a mid-butt.
Still got it. Still got the jersey. Okay, we still got the jersey. Good news.
Jersey's here. The jersey's intact.
Hey, can you show, because I think I saw a picture of maybe a tat that you have too. A lot of people maybe don't think. Yeah. All right. Boom. Yeah, this dude's die hard. Okay. I love everything about it.
Man, this is one of my first tattoos. Like 17 years old, man. Got it. Would have got it.
Nice little kitchen tat. Love everything about it. Obviously, here's you with the fam. Pacers hat, Pacers jersey. Happy to see that you're a real Pacers fan. Sorry that happened to you, but we actually have a special guest who wants to talk to you. Ladies and gentlemen, the point guard for the Indiana Pacers out of Iowa State, Tyrese Halliburton.
Hans, what's up, bro? What's up, brother?
Tyrese. What the hell? My man, how you doing?
Yeah. I'm good, bro. How are you? I'm glad you made it out the jungle alive, bro. I'm glad you're still here with us, man. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, man, it was rough. I feel like I'm going to war with you guys, man.
Well, speaking of going to war with us, I wanted to hit you. Pat told me he found you yesterday, called me. I said, I got to get on the show and talk to him myself. I want to personally bring you and a +1 out here to come to Game 4 here in Indiana. I'll bring you guys out here, put you guys up, get you guys seats to the game. The Pacers, everybody in our organization wants to make sure you're taken care of. All the teams excited to meet you. It's all we've been talking about. Everybody's seen the video. So, man, we want to bring you out here. And, man, I'm really excited about that. So
you in, Hans? I believe that's on Tuesday. You're able to make the trip. I know scheduling, obviously, as a firefighter or something.
I gotta talk to the guys. I mean, I'm pretty sure we could work something out where I to come see that.
Hey, make sure that's first class.
That's awesome. Sorry, sir?
Make sure that flight's first class, Hans. This guy's max deal.
I don't mind, Coach. That's okay. I don't mind. But hey, thank you. I just want to say thank you, Tyrese, man. You are awesome. The team is awesome. I appreciate that. And man, let's go Pacers, man. Let's go Pacers.
We'll see you on Tuesday, Hans. We'll see you on Tuesday, right?
Hopefully, yes. God willing, let's go. Let's
go.
Hopefully, I can make it.
Tyrese, you're a good man.
I'll have my people reach out. But again, I just want to make sure I tell you, I appreciate the way you handled that with such class. I know that's a hectic, crazy time. And I appreciate the way you handled that. I appreciate you showing love to the organization, showing love to myself personally. That means the world to me, man. And that video, when I saw it, I was shocked. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But I'm glad that we found you, and hopefully I can meet you here within the next week. That'd be pretty awesome. So appreciate you again, man. Pat, thank you so much.
You good? We good? We doing this?
Hey,
I'm in.
I'm good. I'm in.
Boom. All right, boom, made magic. Yeah. We appreciate you, Hans. Tyrese, you're the man for this. Tyrese actually was the one that hit me up and said, hey, can we find this guy? And that's why I put out the tweet that was like, somebody find this man. And with the, there's a lot of drawbacks of the internet. There's a lot of drawbacks of things. But being able to find you, Tyrese was the one that wanted me to basically put out the search. And whenever I think it was one of your coworkers, I believe, said, hey, I know this guy. And then Bruce Brown went on the hunt, started sending messages. The fact that we were able to find you is a gift from the internet. And the fact that you are putting on for the Pacers is good for our team as we head into the Eastern Conference Finals. We appreciate the hell out of both of you.
Yes, sir. Hans, appreciate it, bro.
That's
yes,
good
sir.
shit, baby. That's good shit. So pumped that we got a chance to connect those two this morning. Hans, dog. Absolute dog. And obviously he's a firefighter in New York. He's been a Pacer fan his entire life. I think he doesn't shy away from potentially talking shit, to people, especially if you're going to be a Pacers fan in New York City, surrounded by New York Knicks fans. Him saying he didn't expect it to get that wild and just trying to keep us calm, keep us cool. Once again, I appreciate everything about him. And a lot of people say, New York City's trash, whatever. It's like, I think you can find a lot of cities that would have people that would potentially react in the same way. Maybe not throwing trash back, but certainly talking shit in their entirety. The Knicks and Pacers are a great rivalry. Obviously, want to keep everything above board. Let's not make anybody get injured, but a good rivalry. And Hans being in our building is going to be a beautiful thing. Shout out to Tyrese Halliburton trying to make that all happen.
Yeah. Awesome.
Now, while we were running that, ladies and gentlemen, something massive happened out of the NFL.
Oh, really?
Massive. Now, the NFL league meetings are going to take place Wednesday, Thursday, I believe, and we'll have Ian Rappaport join us here in a matter of moments to chit-chat about everything that's going to go down over there. But the Philadelphia Eagles have signed their head coach, Nick Sirianni, to an extension.
Wow. All right,
congratulations, Paisan.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Obviously, there was a lot of people mocking him and calling for his head, basically. This guy's not one of us. This guy's a bum. This guy needs to get the hell out of town. This guy's spending too much time yelling at the fans as opposed to coaching the players. This guy's acting like a child behind the scenes. But then you watch the way that team came together, and you watch the way the team has rallied around him, and you watch the way the team prepares and the way the team plays with him as the head coach. You think to yourself, maybe this guy isn't some big dumb dipshit. Maybe this guy's a good football coach. Dad was a ball coach, obviously grew up in the entirety of it all. What he's done for Philadelphia, I think, is match the personality of the team. And I think the city even is starting to realize this guy matches the personality of our city as well. This is when things kind of come together perfectly.
Yeah, you said matching the personality. That's the perfect way to put it because it's so many different. Now with all the behind-the-scenes stuff that we see with different coaches and different teams from across sports, you can just see that everybody kind of goes about it their own way. And the way that he goes about it, obviously the guys buy into it year in and year out. And this year was different. This year you bring Saquon over, you lean on the run game heavily, you get the explosive plays from a majority run game. Some of your receivers may have to sacrifice. Him being a receiver guy formerly here and a lot of other places. And he's just been perfect, man. You talked about a lot of talking heads calling for his head, and then now we are going into the next season. He's a Super Bowl champ, getting an extension, well-deserved from Nick Sirianni and everybody over there in Philly, man. I love this.
You talk about bringing in Saquon Barkley, and obviously Howie and Jeff and everybody, and Bradley Cooper got to agree to these deals. Drafting, and the exciting whites in the back is also hilarious.
Coop's picks, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Bradley Cooper actually made the pick of all that. So gave the motivational speech on the field before the boys went out and routed the incredible Kansas City Chiefs. But having a brand new player come into your team and take over the offense when you've already max paid two guys that are wide receivers, like that could be a tough task for a coach to keep a locker room together. Especially you talk about sacrificing targets. It's like A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. They're already sacrificing targets for each other. Now they come in and we're going to be a run-first team. It's like the coach has to keep everybody together. And guess who are the ones that dumped the Gatorade on Nick Sirianni after he won the Super Bowl? It was A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, the wide receivers who he had to rally and keep invested because we've all seen that these aren't Madden scores and Madden players playing on teams. These are actual humans who worry about their legacy. They worry about their future contracts. They worry about their targets. They worry about their success. They worry about how much they matter to the team because if you don't matter to the team, you're a piece of gum. They will cut your ass. So whenever wide receivers get a little greedy and say, I want the ball, I want the ball, I want the ball, it's always a negative thing. But these guys are trying to build their careers. These guys are trying not to get cut. These guys are trying to get their next contracts as well. So him being able to navigate those waters, when they were the first team in a long time, they outrushed. They ran like 200 more running plays than they did passing plays. Like, that doesn't happen in the modern NFL until now because they were willing to do it. Shout out to Kelly Moe, obviously the head coach down there for the New Orleans Saints, the offensive coordinator sticking with it. Shout out to Saquon Barkley being so damn explosive. But the head coach having to keep everybody on the same page. Big Dahn back, obviously, in the building matters a lot. But him being able to keep everybody on the same page, that's coaching.
Yes.
That is literally what coaching is, bringing the best out of your team. And he has the proof in put in there.
And then all the turnover at the coordinator positions. You know, year in and year out, you talked about Kelly Moe, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. Raiders. Draft Howie's done a great job drafting. You talked about Cooper DeJean, but Quinyon Mitchell as well, who was a phenomenal rookie corner. Jalen Carter and Cole, and then the trenches. They won the trenchy last year.
Yeah.
And so they got the best offensive line week in and week out. Like, that's how you want to build a football team, and I think we'll see a lot of teams trying to copy this style.
A lot of Italians over there. He brings in Vic Fangio to be DC. Remember, Vic Fangio over is what they were saying, Tone.
Yeah, because, offensive side, it's going to be 4-0 season, 4 years. But then on the defensive side, like their offense was fine 2 years ago. When that whole thing happened, when the late season collapse happened, everything was, they had like the 28th ranked defense. And for him to bring in Vic Fangio, who's one of the greatest defense corners of all time, brings it in, who he wasn't working out in Miami. He brings him in here, a culture difference here for the Eagles, and the draft picks that they did in the secondary turned the defense around, which really led them to the Super Bowl.
And they paid this guy early. Yes. It's like they're doing everything right. Somehow Philadelphia is leading the way in this entire thing.
Weird.
Congrats, Philly. That is weird.
Yeah.
No, that's Philly, I guess. Yeah, congrats, Philly. Shane Gillis right now is telling us to shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear it now. Go Birds. Go Birds. There are a lot of Johns over there excited about the Sirianni extension. Good news. I am hearing.
Right.
Yeah. Coach Sirianni is currently having a live press conference. Let's go over to that. I believe he's taking a stand. Oh, he's already at stand. Okay, go ahead. Yep, he's addressing the media now.
First and foremost, I'd like to just say, thank you to everybody who showed up today. A lot of people are saying things about how, in the past, I may not have been the best coach. A lot of people called me a big dumb dipshit for the entire season. This guy doesn't know how to coach. This guy's a moron. He talks like a moron. His expressions and the way he, talks about the team, he's a fucking moron. Well, I also happen to be the best fucking coach in the NFL. So, everyone wants to kind of, throw the flowers on me and heap praise. Listen, I know we got a lot of coaches in this league who couldn't teach a dog to sit down. I can do that because I am the best. I'm the best coach in Eagles history. I have no problem saying that. Sorry, Andy Reid. I beat your ass in a Super Bowl. And listen, this isn't going to be a really long, drawn-out thing. It was a multi-year extension. I told Jeff and Howie right away, I said, listen, I'm thinking 10 years, $250 million. So it's up to you. Mm-hmm. I don't want to get into my finances. I'm not going to get into my business. Let's just say that, we win another Super Bowl. I don't know, maybe Coach Sirianni goes to the highest bidder. So we'll see. It's one of those things where, you prove time and time again you are the best there was, the best there is, the best there ever will be. Shout out Bret Hart. That, you're going to keep winning. That's what I do. I will end this today. I'm not going to take any questions because the proof's in the pudding. I might go buy a new luxury vehicle or something like that. I have no idea what I'm going to do with all this money. Maybe wipe my ass with a couple hundreds. For anyone who at any point in this last year before that, said I was a big dumb dipshit or questioned my integrity, my coaching abilities. Matter of fact, this is going to go out to everybody, but we're going to start. This is a personal invitation for Dan Orlovsky.
Oh, no.
Okay? Later today, I'm probably going to go down, either be at Gino's or Pat's. I'm gonna go to the bank and I'm gonna get, I don't know, let's say I'm gonna get $10,000 in cash out. Dan, if you'd like to come down and eat some dog shit off the ground,
I think we got his press conference.
I will personally give you $100, and that goes for anyone else who has said anything negative about me. Once again, go Birds. I'm the best coach in the NFL. It's great to be Philly, baby. Here come the dogs.
Okay, so obviously he's pretty proud of himself, as he should be. Happy we cut to that.
Yeah, me too.
I can't believe we caught that. Good work in the back, boys.
Good job, boys.
Great work in the back catching that. I think Zito said, hey, Coach Sirianni has a press conference, I think, coming up. And I'll tell you what, the fact that we were able to just get the feed.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Just
clean too.
Very clean.
Yeah.
And it sounded like were people telling him what to say? Did I see?
No, he was listening to cadences in his ears. Yeah. Exactly.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who might have a little bit more information on what we just heard from that press conference. Senior NFL insider for the NFL Network. Sorry, I saw a man sprint over there. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rappaport.
Yeah, right.
Did you see that press conference? I know we were probably the only one that got it. Did you hear anything that kind of stuck out to you about this extension that the Philadelphia Eagles just gave to Coach Sirianni there, Rap Sheet?
I mean, there was a lot there. I'll tell you what about Coach Sirianni. He is his own man. Some of that some of that trash talking or real talking. You don't hear a lot of coaches say that. You don't hear a lot. What was that?
Yeah, it's the same thing I just saw. Right? I think we got a little bit of a ghost coming, in and going. Coach Sirianni just left the building.
How could I just look? TV is amazing, as is YouTube, by the way. Great platform. Going to have an NFL game this year. I love it. How is it possible that someone could be in Philly?
What?
But then in Indy so quick.
I don't know. You're talking to the toxic table right now? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
What do you have to say about the toxic table? What are you talking about?
Did he take his ear out?
What?
Why did
who?
They just spell out his ears are just like me. We got weird ears.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Got it. Okay. All right. We're good.
Anyways, Coach Sirianni extension. Did we know this was coming? I assume we should have expected it after he, I guess he proved himself is how people would consider it in Philadelphia. Or was Philadelphia brass always behind Sirianni, even though it got very loud outside of this program?
Well, first of all, it's always going to get loud in Philly. And Philly is not for everyone. I would say to succeed there as an athlete, as a coach, as an executive, you got to take a lot of shrapnel, a lot of blows, a lot of blowback. It is a lot of booze. It is not for everyone. But if you win there, then it is special. And I think Nick Sirianni is kind of finding that out now. Jeffrey Lurie mentioned that this was probably coming during the owners' meetings in March. Felt like at the time they were close to a deal. And usually when an owner says you're close to a deal, that deal is definitely getting done. But Sirianni, to me, is so fascinating. One, obviously wins at the highest level. I mean, you win a Super Bowl, if that's the only thing that matters, then a guy does that and you reward him. But I think the other thing is, when he got hired, a lot of people, including me, watched his press conference and took this coach who most people hadn't really heard of, who certainly hadn't proven himself as the top coordinator, and we're like, does Philly know what it's doing? What they found, what we didn't know, was an elite leader. Take all the things you want, play calling and whatever, an elite leader of men. And that is really what he is. He has proven that. They are the champs, and he is very richly rewarded.
Less thinky, more athlete takeovery, if I do recall.
Yep.
And then I think there was seeds being planted in manure.
Yep.
And then
The
obviously
flowers.
it'll come through. The flowers won't bloom until later, which is a metaphor that a lot of coaches use. Like, hey, we're chopping wood right now. We're just chopping right now.
Bamboo.
Yeah, it's like bamboo grows later. So that was his way of saying that particular message. But the way it was landed upon a lot of people's ears, ourselves included, especially after the less thinky, more athlete takeover, it's like, what is this guy? And then that was around the time of Dan Campbell's press conference too, where he's gnawing kneecaps, and it was like, wait a minute, what the hell's going on here? And it's like, it's not just about being a good play caller for some of these people. It's about, can you cultivate a culture? Can you make people go in the same direction? We chatted about it before Coach Sirianni's press conference there, which I still don't know how we were able to get such a good live feed.
Crazy.
And he had a lot to say,
Get.
as he should. Thank you. It's journalism. Preakness.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Nobody cared. Journalism won. That sucks for journalism.
I was waiting on that. I mean, look, it took a little grit, took a little toughness. In the end, journalism prevailed.
Yeah, I think so. In something less important, but congrats to journalism getting a big time win. We are happy for the damn horse.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Absolutely happy for the damn horse. But whenever they're hiring these people to bring a culture in together, there's a lot of analytics-based people and play calling people and pundits and experts that obviously don't think it's the right move. But it's like, have we seen a shift, do you think, in some of these teams? Like Kelly Moe, obviously an incredible play caller. He gets the job down there. But do you think there's, in New Orleans, do you think the leader of men has become a bigger conversation than maybe it was for 5-10 years there, basically? McVay kind of just changed everything seemingly. People forgot about having to lead an entire building, lead a bunch of men. Because we talked about A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith could be very pissed. Even Jalen, because Jalen doesn't get to spin it 30, 40 times if that's what he wants to do. Right. They bring in a new guy from a division rival, and he becomes the focal point of the offense, and everybody's rowing in the same direction. And A.J. Brown and Devontae are the ones that dump the Gatorade on him at the end of the year. It's like, that is something that you can't teach. I think that is a special quality. I wonder how many teams are thinking like that, though, going forward.
Well, more and more. I think you're right. I mean, the focus on the kind of leader of men, which I wish there was a better phrase for it, right? But the problem is I don't know how to actually describe how guys like Nick Sirianni and Dan Campbell have done it, except for that phrase, right? Like, it's kind of a clunky phrase, but like, this is really what they do. They take everyone, they get them all pointed in the right direction. They teach them to compete at at unbelievable levels. They teach them that helping the team win is more important than whatever stats would come with that. They put it all together, they put it on the field, and then, if there's other areas where they're not like superstars, like for Dan Campbell, get a really good play caller. Obviously had that with Ben Johnson for years. And like, you can fix a lot of the other stuff or help assist on a lot of the other stuff, but actually leading is probably the most important. And I would say so to me, when the Jets hired Aaron Glenn, I was kind of like, all right, I feel like teams are getting it, right? Because he was a good coordinator. The defense was good. But you talk to people inside the building, talk to people who knew Aaron Glenn for a long time, and they would always say he is going to be a better head coach than a coordinator because he is a leader. And for years, I was sort of like, why has nobody picked up on this? But maybe they are now, and like, that's really good to see.
I think so too. Aaron Rodgers, I assume, didn't get a chance to experience that with Aaron Glenn. The story that we heard. How about him say, we're moving on, dude? Aaron Glenn just saying, we're moving on. I don't even want to talk about it. Got our quarterback we got next season. Let's go ahead and just keep it moving. Good.
Sounds like that meeting was a fast one.
What's that?
Sounds like that meeting was a fast one.
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly much quicker than the flight it took to get there.
Without a doubt.
Much
2,000 times.
Yeah, much faster than the flight it took. Whatever the case, you got to lead your team and direct your team however the hell you need to lead it. I assume Aaron will understand that as the days move past the event. New GM, new head coach. Sure. Good luck to them. I hope they get the culture rolling. Now, let's talk about the league. League meetings happening Wednesday, Thursday. Is that when it's taking place this week? There's a lot of things.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Sorry. There's a lot of things that are still unresolved from previous league meetings, and then something being added in this flag football vote for whether or not NFL players will be allowed to play in the Olympics. This is something the NFL owners have to vote upon. That is going to be something. I hope it's a yes. Okay. Now, the NFL is gigantic, so the NFL doesn't need my entire marketing speech. But when the NHL took the NHL players out of the Olympics, I thought it was a terrible idea for the NHL that was trying to build after a lockout, after everything like that, because they were taking the best players off the ice for the entire sport of hockey. So people weren't able to see the best players at hockey, so hockey wasn't as good. And if they would have been able to connect like they did with the Four Nations, I think it could have grew the sport. I thought the owners in the NHL were wrong in doing that. For football, I think a lot of these owners are going to be like, did you see what we just paid these quarterbacks?
Yeah.
And they're going to play flag football for the Olympics. I think there's a chance they say no to this. Or are you thinking that there's a chance that the NFL guys will be in the Olympics, Rappaport?
I think, to me, just kind of my read on the situation, because it was introduced pretty late, right? Like a couple days before the meeting, it was kind of added to the agenda. That makes me think that a lot of the discussion has already happened. I mean, I'm not saying they're not going to debate it, but to me, adding something like this, a fully detailed resolution right before the owners' meeting, means there must be at least enough support to give this like real consideration. So
Thank
you add
God.
this now.
They should do this.
I mean, it feels like there's a pretty good chance it happens. Now, I would say I was interested in one per team because, like, I don't know how you, like, what if there's more? Like, there's probably two guys deserving. Like, it's not going to be perfect. And, like, if you're the second guy in a team, but you're the best, I don't know, tight end or whatever it is, like, should you not be allowed? Like, I have questions there, but it feels to me like there's enough support where, like, this could be an unbelievably star-studded Olympic, like, must-see event.
Yeah, and for the boys, that'll play in this entire thing, they grew up probably playing some Olympic sports, some things, or maybe yearning to maybe compete in the Olympics, getting a chance to be in the Olympic opening ceremony.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cool.
Like the NBA guys, watching them do it, it's like they've done it all, obviously. But watching them in the opening ceremony, representing their country, the gold medal, like that is a cool thing. Now, granted, them creating the sport for our Olympics, there's going to be some teams that are really bad at flag football. There's going to be some countries that are going to be really, really bad at flag football. Now, I assume there's going to be some countries that are going to be much better than we could have expected because football has academies in a lot of these countries. A lot of these guys maybe potentially grew up playing in these flag football leagues that have been started internationally. But America should win regardless because remember, we got that one guy who's better than Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, Doucette.
What's his
last name?
Yeah.
Like Darnell Doucette.
Here's what he said to TMZ.
At the end of the day, I feel like I'm better than Patrick Mahomes because of my IQ of the game. I know he's right now the best in the league. I know he's more accurate. I know he has all these intangibles. But when it comes to flag football, I feel like I know more than him.
Which is probably accurate. Different sport, different game. Hopefully he would help Patrick Mahomes learn the game.
Head coach.
Or compete with him. I mean, let him battle it out. I mean, Mahomes maybe show up to the tryouts. Okay. No, I assume
imagine
like
Lamar.
Holding the clipboard for Doucette. Yeah.
Darius says there's no chance they pass this.
No chance they pass. Like no.
First, you don't think?
First of all, we wouldn't need NFL players. Well, I think miles ahead. It would be great because it is in America, it is in LA, so whatever. But 2028, we'll probably have 18 games by that time. Way too much money invested in these players for you lose a receiver or running back or somebody out there running a route and you lose them for a season that's making $35-40 million a year for the come on. I love the Olympics. I love
gold medals.
Gold medals.
Sounds like you don't.
I know the players it'll be cool to represent our country. Thank you, Bone, for representing our country playing football.
No, he didn't pay $7,000.
Oh, I thought
he was offered the opportunity to pay $7,000.
Right.
Yeah, and these NFL guys that miss out too.
The NHL voted that way. I thought it was bad for the sport, and it didn't help grow the sport. Football's already so gigantic. I don't know if that's the marketing angle, but America, who's going to be in there? Jerry Jones maybe gives a speech. So we're going to let the opportunity of potentially China winning flag football in America? I don't think so. We need to win this thing. We need to send it. Hopefully there's that. We get to watch it. It'll make the Olympics much more lively. We would also like to offer up, we'll head coach the team.
Boom.
Yeah, we'll head coach the team. Going to need good coordinators.
All of you guys?
Yeah. Yep. We'll head coach it. Imagine us getting an Olympic gold medal.
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be so cool. Yeah, would love
this is the way you get in, boys.
Get one?
Huh?
Yeah.
Coaches get one? Like, how does that work?
Okay.
Are you nuts?
We just talked about Sirianni. We just talked about Sirianni getting an extension, talking about how great of a cultivator of culture he is. What do you think it's going to be like bringing all these superstars into a sport they've never played before?
Ask Herb Brooks.
Yes. What do you think? Everybody's going to want target. Exactly.
Well said.
Exactly.
Herb.
All right, let's move past this because you don't get it. You don't get it. We would love all of us to be the head coach of Team USA in the flag. Not you, Rappaport. No Olympic coaches do not typically receive medals. We do not want to coach. We do not want to coach.
They got to change that.
We do not want to coach this team. We do not have the time. We will watch and support from afar. We'll be in the crowd. Cheering on
Steve
the boys.
Kerr.
All right, let's move to some. Steve Kerr didn't get one?
There's no way that
sure.
it's definitely not for sports like that are team.
I'm looking. Herb Brooks did not. He did not.
Herb Brooks didn't win a fucking gold medal.
Are you kidding
That's
me?
a lie.
The Olympics, I knew that. I'm not even getting into it. I'm not even getting into it with the Olympics. I'm not even getting into it. Let's move along. League meeting. We got to be quick here. We're running out of time. Boys got a lot of great questions. A lot of things happen.
Herb.
League meeting tomorrow. I cannot believe that.
It's maybe the biggest travesty of all time.
There's been 100 movies made about this guy's. Coach K is also known as Coach K. He has won multiple gold medals. Yeah, but they don't know if he's actually received them. Okay. If you can win a gold medal and receive a gold medal, we would like to offer up our services to be head coach only. We'll need coordinators. We'll need people running day to day. We'd love to come in and give speeches, though, and get the fuck out of town, okay, if that is available. And also need the medals. Can take the reservation. Just can't hold the reservation. You can win a gold medal. You just can't get a gold medal. Let's move along. Coaches are more important than that. Just want to let the Olympics know that. Quickly, league meetings. We're going to put up a graphic here. The loading or time thing are all things that have either been pushed or presented for these meetings. What do you think passes? What do you think doesn't pass?
I would say my educated guess is there is a change to the tush push. Now, right now, the language has been, I believe, not changed. But I would expect come Tuesday morning or whenever they first kind of introduce things, maybe Tuesday afternoon, there'll probably be some new language aimed at eliminating any player from pushing or pulling another player. Like, not specific to this play, because I'm not sure the league wants to specifically ban this play. It'd be probably more the mechanism that is used in this play. In other words, like Saquon and Goddard and players like that pushing other players. So to me, it feels like there's probably movement there. I think that makes sense, and we'll see where it shakes out on Wednesday. The replay assist, I believe I think we're already good on that one. The seating. So that's the one that the Lions put forth By the way, Wednesday morning is when this is going to be debated, not Tuesday afternoon. So Wednesday morning. Wild card seeding is an interesting one because that was where the Lions said maybe division winners don't get a home game. I don't know that that's got enough support, but I believe it's going to be discussed. There's people who think this may be more like when the eventually goes to 18 games, this would be introduced, but you also could do like if a team doesn't have a winning record and they're the conference winner, maybe then they don't host. So I think these are some of the bigger issues to be discussed Wednesday.
Okay, I'm looking forward to what they do. We need flag football.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of money being given out to these players, especially some new money. Go ahead, D-Bucks.
Yeah, big quarterback deal. Brock Purdy gets done to join that $50 million club. What are the actual details and guarantees with his new deal?
Okay, so it is $53 million a year. So it is 5 for $265, if my math is correct. A couple key things: $181 million guaranteed for injury, just total guarantees. That's a really good number. The deal averages. We've seen some kind of like backloaded deals where it looks like a number, but you're never going to make the number that's like the last year of the deal. This is not that. This is a really good, strong cash flow, front-loaded deal. Purdy will make an average of $55 million over the first 3 years of the new deal. So basically, like if there was a debate on should he make 50, 52, 53, 55, average is 53, but over the first 3 years, he makes 55. That is really good and solid, and he gets a no-trade clause, which, I think for players really like the security of knowing that if something catastrophe happens, they're in control of their own destiny. So that's kind of how this all breaks down. I thought a really, really good deal for Purdy. 49ers did absolutely fine as well.
Okay, so 55 over the first 3 years, that might as well be the deal because it's a 5-year deal, so he's only going to play one more year after that without getting a new deal.
Yeah.
And if it all works out well, they'll probably renegotiate again, kick the can down the road. So this is 55 over the first 3 years, then it drops down for years 4 and year 5. Let's assume after year 4, probably back to renegotiation if it's doing well. So he's getting about $54 million a year. Congratulations, Brock Purdy.
Hell yeah,
What a story.
What a story.
Yes.
Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
It's crazy.
Out of Iowa State, nowhere near the starter for the San Francisco 49ers. They had another guy actually practicing on another field during training camp that was supposed to be, and he ended up being back on the team. They didn't want to hand the thing. Like,
Third overall pick.
This was not supposed to be the guy.
Trey Lance.
Yeah, Trey Lance, number 3 overall. This guy was not supposed to be the guy at all.
Crazy.
All he did was just prepare himself for the moment, and when the opportunity arose, he took advantage of it. And now he's getting $54 million a year over the next 3 years. Guaranteed. Congratulations, buddy.
Hell yeah,
all right, Rap, we
Pretty cool.
appreciate you joining us, brother. Have an incredible Monday. And you're traveling down to the owners' meetings. You're going to keep on top of the owners' meetings via your Twitter account?
We'll keep on top. We got the esteemed Tom Pelissero in Minnesota.
Oh, hometown.
So we will be keeping him and Judy are there.
Yep.
I'll be manning the station here.
Well, we appreciate the hell out of you, man. You're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rappaport.
Yeah.
That Purdy story is beautiful. That's American Dream, baby. It's
Crazy. No trade. Mr. Irrelevant and no trade clause. Like, it's what, 3-4 quarterbacks?
I mean, $800K to $55 million.
Had a roommate. Now he's got a palace.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hour 2 is on the other side with Patty Maroon and AJ Hawk doing us. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Shout out to Hans, man.
We have an opportunity to give away $75,000 to a kid named Daniel Villasenor.
Absolutely.
You're a sophomore, correct?
Yeah.
What is your major?
Civil engineering?
Okay, so what's that mean? What is civil engineering?
I don't really know.
Have you ever kicked a ball before?
I have.
When? Were you a soccer player?
Soccer player, yeah.
Okay, how were you at kicking soccer balls? Pretty good?
I was okay. I was good.
Have you ever said anything negative about football kickers?
Maybe once or twice.
Daniel! Damn, Daniel! We don't need that. You make a field goal here from 33 yards uphill. You're the civil engineer. You'd have to tell me, I think it's about a 40-yard kick. If you're able to do that, we will give you $75,000.
All right.
He's got no laces.
Yeah, what do we got going here? Can we get a shot of the shoes?
What time?
Hey, a shot of the shoes.
Daniel showed up in his Vans with no laces. What time did you get here for this?
About 11:40 last night.
You need a lot of power.
Good luck, Daniel.
I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it.
Wait a second. Just like everything this morning, that was a surprise. We did not expect that. Let's go. We got to do one more kick for $100,000. You got this, dude. Let's go. How about this, Daniel? How about this, Daniel? Not only is this one for $100,000, if you make it, we'll add another $100,000 to the $500,000 donation we're about to make from College Game Day to the hurricane relief. It could be $600,000 if you make this, with $100,000 going into your pocket. Daniel, this is bigger than you. Let's make a kick, bro.
Way to overcome the shoes here. That was a heck of an effort. Come on, you got this.
In Berkeley, California.
You got it.
Oh! Hell yeah!
Great job!
Damn, Daniel! Damn, Daniel! All right. What just happened? Are you kidding me?
It's fun, man. 11:40 he was there.
I know. 600,000 to hurricane relief. 100,000 to Daniel. What a morning in Berkeley. Way to go, Daniel.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Overreaction Monday, May 19th, 2025. Hour 2 of this program starts right now. Sports! Our wonderful, there's a lot happening. Obviously, we're at the Eastern Conference Finals and Western Conference Finals for the NBA and the NHL. And boy, what a time for the NFL. They got league meetings happening the next 2 days that could change the trajectory of football forever.
Yeah.
Will these NFL guys be allowed to play in the Olympics or not? That'll be voting on Wednesday morning. Well, the tush push still exists. Ian Rappaport says, feels like that's going to get changed. Feels like there's going to be some rules that are added, not necessarily saying you can't tush push, but you certainly can't pull, drag, or do any other type of movement of somebody else. We'll be excited to see how they word it, and we'll be excited to see how coaches take advantage of the new rules to still get the same play accomplished without having to do, maybe 700 pounds of human being pushed over one particular guy's head. The rule has been changed in the past in special teams. Defense used to be a pusher for field goal blocks. They banned that because whenever they started doing the math on how much weight was going over somebody's head, they thought that wouldn't be healthy. Now, granted, do they use the same thing for this because it's an offensive play, and Philadelphia Eagles are better than everybody else at it, so it must be a talent trait, not just a weight trait. We shall see, but we all assume that if it's gotten this far in the conversation and people have been confident enough to be loud about it not being a football play, there'll be some sort of tinkering to it. What will that be? We shall see Wednesday morning. The Olympics, obviously, and then the playoff seeding, which we thought there was no chance of them changing because of how successful super wild card weekend has already been. They're saying maybe there is a little bit of a change, especially if you're under 500 and you somehow win your division. Maybe you don't deserve a home playoff game and somebody else does. That seems to make sense to me too. Feels like the NFL is throwing some heat in some changes that they're making. All of these conversations would normally take 10 to 15 years in the past for the NFL to change them. All of them. We'll have a conversation. Everybody can eat shit. We're not changing anything. Well, we're talking about it. Moving to the next meeting. Definitely talking about it. And I'll tell you what, this time we're talking about it, a little bit more intensity. Nothing happens. Then boom, next time. It's on the agenda. I think this is the time. Boom, boom. They just kick the can down the road, basically, with everything. Feels like they understand where the NFL is, where football is as a whole, want to make it as best as they possibly can. And to that, we say thank you. Good work out there.
Oh, yeah.
The league's doing well. Yeah. League's doing very well. 9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler's here. You look super cool. Great weekend for the Butlers, right?
It was. It was a great weekend. My daughter, she won the Coaches Player of the Year award first year at LIV Volleyball, which is awesome. So super proud of her. That was awesome. Just got a chance to watch sports.
And play a little hoops.
Play a little hoops. Got lumped up. I mean, physicality. We had Game 7 for the Panthers as well, so I just took my lumps for the squad. So yeah, it was a great weekend for me and the fam.
So what happened though? What happened though with the physicality?
Because I'm a guy playing on both ends of the basketball court.
Sure.
I'm not quite Gary V.
This is a pickup game or a league game?
Pickup game. I'm going. So a little help defense. Guy gets beats off the dribble. I'm going to help. Got fouls and push my teammate into me. I catch back his head right to the lip. So it's a big cut. You ever get a cut in the mouth? It's always if it's deep. It's like, okay, do I go and get stitches? Do I just thug it out? Decided to thug it out.
Well, is it a 3-pound bag of ice you had on your face?
Yeah, at least. I mean, we got one size fits all sandwich bags here, so I had to dump that thing here. 15 minutes on, get a little bit of swelling down before going live. But it's part of the game.
I turned around and I just see this massive bag on the side of D-Butt's face, and I'm like, what is that? And then I look closer, it's ice. I'm like, holy shit, that's a massive bag of ice. Is it your whole jaw? Is it just not so much?
Yeah.
Not so much. Just mostly the whole head. It was the mouth there.
Yeah.
That one's the most annoying, I think.
Yeah. When you first get hit and it's just numb, I wasn't sure if I lost a couple of teeth. It was
blood.
Tough, but, blood.
Swallowing it too. Are we water?
Yeah, little
like a boxer.
Cold water. Put the cold water in there.
Did you guys win?
Bleeding.
So nice.
Oh, we did.
Okay, congratulations.
Nice job. But I mean, look, you got fucking your bicep is still leaking.
This thing's even worse.
Just that time of year.
Yeah.
It's on its way to trips.
Is that from Gunter?
Yeah, it's from Gunter. I think that's potentially an elbow when he was doing the because it lines up with
ricochet.
You see, so I think it was an elbow just his shoulder, which I didn't know that was part of his moves. I couldn't prepare. I don't know if anybody does the elbow to the shoulder.
Yeah.
It's not a bad little shot.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it's been the most lingering.
That's how he gets all that momentum.
Deep.
Yeah.
I bet he's got one of those too from those elbows you gave him trying to get out of it.
Boom. Oh, yeah, you're talking about when he gave me the hairwalk.
The two-handers.
At the end. Thought I had a little bit more juice on that. Really don't know how that one didn't work. I saw somebody say, I can't believe you didn't go down to those kicks. Me neither, brother.
Oh, yeah.
You should have seen what I was thinking.
Preaching to the
One
choir.
count?
This guy, one count.
I didn't like that.
Well, he was just letting me know.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, boom. Think about how much, boom.
Internal bleeding.
Boom. Yeah, I have internal bleeding right now in that left arm there. We go sleeper. We take a little nap there in St. Louis. That's the way it goes. Go Blues. Go Blues.
Yeah, go Blues.
Go Talks Blues. Tables here at Buster Connor, at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer. Dahn. Cowboys, AP Tony's here. D-But, we're happy the mouth is all right.
Yeah.
Joining us now is a man who was cutting his grass at about midnight the other night. Had a splunking light on his forehead. His wife posted it on her Instagram story. I thought it was good problem-solving abilities. I guess not everybody saw it. Neighbor said it was a little loud, and the lines are certainly crooked. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk. AJ, is this normal? A little midnight run for cutting the grass out there? And I love you looking over at what with the light. Is this the first time you've done this, or is this just standard operating procedure for AJ Hawk?
No, I mean, this has happened many times in the past. She pulled in and saw me, just trying to take down some of the side yard, just where the kids play sports and play games. So, yeah, just got to knock it down a bit. You know how the grass grows like 4 inches a day, I feel like, now with all the rain. So, yeah, I started, it wasn't dark. It became dark. I mowed for about 30, 40 minutes in the pitch black, but I got a little headlamp on. We're good.
When did you find, so you took the splunking light with you out there knowing that it could get dark, and you've done this before?
No, I started without it, and then I had to, circle back to the garage and pick it up once it got too dark to actually see, because I didn't want it to look completely terrible. I don't care if it's perfect, but I want to, I want it to look decent. You know what? We woke up, looked at it, looked pretty good.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. And you felt like a genius when you were like, I was pulling spally on my forehead.
Go ahead. I had the light in my garage. I've had it for years. And when I figured out how bright this thing was, I can adjust it to it'll illuminate the whole side yard, man. I'm telling you, it's pretty legit. So yeah, when I first figured it out maybe a couple years ago. I said, yeah, this is the answer. I don't need headlights.
I'm a genius here. Yeah, congrats.
Pretty
to you.
much.
Way to be a good dad, good husband over there. I got a Canadian geese crew that is taking over my yard, taking it over.
What do you got to send the dogs out? You got to get the dogs to scare them away, don't you?
My dogs? No.
Yeah, Chuck. Let Chuck sprint around there. And break
Fat Chuck rolling around in the goose poop. The goose poop is the problem.
Yeah.
So they obviously chew up everything and they're annoying and they. I actually won back this weekend. I was like, I'm done with you. And I looked it up. You're not allowed to kill these things.
Are you sure? Did you outfit though?
I did, yeah. And I even hissed back too. I give a because they lift their shit and then they do this little neck thing and they hiss. But I looked up the law. I'm not allowed to like murder it. But if that thing attacks me and I punt the head off of that
you
thing,
can maim them.
Yeah, so
I thought if you had a sword, you could kill it.
I don't know if sword hunting
It's
is
your property, though. It's your property. If you feel threatened, you can take care of them, right?
There's all these things going through my head because I was sick of it because there's just goose poop fucking everywhere. You know, I did a little pressure washing on my pool, around my pool, to get all this goose poop off of this thing. The fucking thing behind me rattles into the pool. Okay, I had to pick the pressure washer up out of the fucking pool. Okay, put this thing down. Then it dries off, start to choke. Let me, put that thing back out of the run. Let me pull this fucking hose, and then we get the cord. It was a scene. Okay, it was a full. I'm doing this entire thing. I get the pool deck done. Takes 3.5, 4 hours.
Whew. Yeah,
Long
takes
time.
forever. Power washing, I enjoy it, but it does take forever to even do a small area.
Long time. And I had the wrong tip on. I had to change the tip to get a little wider tip.
Yeah.
And then when the poop was really sticking, I had to get the thin tip. So I had to release the thin and put the. And then I had to redo the thing. Then I had to move the thing. Then I had to do. It was a lot. I just want to sit down and admire my work. Pretty good job out of me. Hell yeah, I did this. Whack, whack, whack. These fucking geese come flying in. Shit all over the entire thing. It was 2 hours. 2 hours this thing was clean. Now there's poop. Obviously, it's a lighter, brighter color because I got some of this shit. Just poop everywhere on these things. I don't know how you beat them. Chuck goes out there, corgi, supposed to be, like a herding. This should be his thing. Too fat. He rolls around in the poop. So now we got a smelly poop dog inside, and we can't go outside because the poops are. These geese are terrorists. These things are a problem.
Call ICE.
They taking it.
Send them back to Canada.
Call Tom up. Tom.
Yeah. Need you.
Get these geese
time
out of my yard. I looked it up. There is like a goose patrol around Indiana that they get these 2 dogs out. And I'm like,
yeah, golf courses use them. I know golf courses bring dogs out and have them run up and down where there's ponds, and they, because they can ruin a place.
what are they going to be there a whole day? Whenever they
You need to get a couple of animals, get a couple lions or something, fence your yard in, and then they won't be landing in there.
Yeah, you need dogs that don't just herd food into their mouths like.
Val's 12 right now. Val's 12, 13 years old.
Yeah.
When Val was 6, 7, 8, this is her job.
Bingo.
This would have been, we would just put her outside and she would just be out there for hours. But now she like looks at him, barks, and she's like, I'm not signing up for that
So you need to
shit.
buy a couple more dogs.
Sam is trying to push that angle this weekend while also trying to feed these geese. I'm like, listen, Sam, we don't want these
Don't
geese.
do that.
It's like the
Bro.
raccoon situation. It's like raccoons.
You had to move out of house because of that.
You need to just kill them.
Well,
and bury
not
them.
allowed to.
You can't kill them.
You sure? After you pressure wash and they come back, you still can't kill them?
I know. I was trying to look for a clause in the law.
Bylaws?
Yeah, I spent 3.5 hours on this damn pool deck, and then these things come shit all over it.
There's
Should
nothing.
be allowed to.
Dude, put poison.
There's nothing that
I got
says
dogs, buddy.
You can't maim them. You get a golf club. You go out there and you wallop one of those fuckers in the stomach as hard as you can. You're not going to kill him, but guess what? He's going to... And he's not going to be coming back. Yeah, exactly. He's going to be like... He's going to fly to his buddies and be like, that guy's not fucking around. Let's go to the house next door. I guarantee it.
And if he makes it, you hit him hard enough in the stomach, he might fly away and then halfway up, boo, and
it's a show for the whole.
He's drowning.
I don't want to do that. I just want to round these things up. And I don't even know how you do that. I was trying to come up with a plan.
Gumpy.
Is that a net?
Bring Gumpy out. They might just flock to Gumpy, like our Canadian brother has arrived finally.
Like he's like, sorry.
Exactly.
Come.
And they might.
What was that children's tale? Isn't there like a piper that leads the mice out of the town?
We need Timmy Hortons.
Yeah.
Doubles.
Yeah, exactly. Just set one out there without the cap on it.
Some smooth cream move.
Yeah.
Gumpy sitting in there, Native American style.
Poutine.
Poutine being handed up like this. Yeah.
They'll come and pay their respects. They'll notice this is sacred ground.
Big net.
Big net.
Like those COVID nets.
Yeah.
Big net.
Yep.
Round them all up. Put them over his shoulder. Like call a soldier and send it back to Canada.
No, you put a couple bricks in it. Throw
All right. Let's talk about Canada. Let's talk about bricks. Let's talk about bottom of the lake. More so a frozen one normally. The Toronto Maple Leafs. Toronto Maple Leaf all over themselves last night. Game 7 in front of the Beavers.
Oh, no.
Josh Haley.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Front row. Right behind the bench. They took the trip from wherever town. Because I seen Justin Bieber. He's been in Austria. He's been golfing. He's been making new accessories for a phone. I don't know if you saw this.
Awesome.
With the cone.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Beeps. I don't think.
I didn't see that.
So he's got like a phone cover that has a slot for a cone, like a stuffed cone.
Okay.
And it's like firm enough that it will protect it. Because that's the issue with those cones.
Sure.
There's a chance they get beat up a little bit.
Good silicone.
I don't think everything Bieber's creating is a home run.
Okay.
I don't think I'll ever wear the sunglasses that he's making.
Sure.
I don't know if I'll ever wear the slides that he's making. But there's some stuff coming out of this Bieber brain right now that I'm like, hey, Bob, like what you're doing. I think he's making an album.
It looks like he's making an album, and then for the phone cover, I believe his wife made one that you put lipstick in, and that was the inspiration.
Oh, okay. So
Smart.
good play
Yes.
out of the Biebers. Once again, in front of the Biebers, the Toronto. Justin Bieber's golf game, not as bad, because he grew up playing hockey, which is why he's at the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's a massive fan. He was striking that
Nice
thing.
swing. He said he shot at 82 this weekend.
And he had, I love he was wearing T-shirts and just whatever the fuck he wanted.
No dress
Anything.
Love that. Justin Bieber. Just do whatever the hell you want
Is
to
he
do.
getting out of the slot? Or?
Yeah, he.
There it is.
Yeah, look, there he is. Linen pants,
It's a good outfit.
beater.
He's not a pocket.
It's just that
I don't
front.
think that's his best swing. Right
Yeah,
there.
I don't. I
That's his
hope
worst
not.
swing. We just
I
found
hope
his worst swing right there. He was playing good golf. I was watching him play good golf for about 2 weeks or whatever. But nonetheless, the Toronto Maple Leafs embarrassed themselves. Game 7 at home to the Florida Panthers. This thing got so ugly so quick. 3-0 before you could even blink. Watch this entire game. Just like I watched the Dallas Stars win in overtime in like 35 seconds.
Yeah.
So quick the night before. So whenever you talk about hockey being awesome, you think about Game 7s. You think about Toronto and the storylines. You think about them being the Dallas Cowboys of Canada, basically, is how they are viewed. All of the stars from Canada are fans of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Every year is the Toronto Maple Leafs year. Every year they're going to win a Stanley Cup. And every year something like this happens where they get their asses beat on home ice in Game 7. Marchand actually scored on an empty net from Saskatoon.
Yeah, from Saskatoon.
From Saskatoon. He's on the other side of the. Did you see him?
Oh,
He's
yeah.
all the way
I
down in
saw it.
Saskatoon.
Yep.
Yeah, and he said sorry, and he just sent that thing down. And he's obviously been an Achilles heel for the Maple Leafs, especially in Game 7s. But this entire team just beat the dog shit out of the Toronto Maple Leafs. You got to be pumped up about that. Hockey Beach continues and moves past the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Still cooking. Obviously, Marshy's been great. Jonesy, we got from Chicago. He's been awesome down the stretch as well. Marchand at 37 led both teams in this series in points. But he's been a dog. Obviously, Bob's been doing his thing in net as well. But just from the top down, like we've had a bunch of the guys on from the GMZ though to Coach Paul Maurice, who's 6-0 now in Game 7s, and then obviously the team that they've built. Like they're a pack of dogs. You know, they get it done physical, and then they can obviously score. And the moment's
They're hunting Canadian geese.
Yeah, this is 3 times in a row now we've gone to the Eastern Conference Finals, and just where this franchise has come, like we're all pretty much older than the franchise as a whole. Like these tickets used to be free damn near growing up, and now you're talking about probably the best stretch in sports in South Florida since the Heatles. So, you know, we're chasing again. Obviously, we got the Caniacs coming up now, so that'll be a tough out. But you know, I'm ready for it, man. Hopefully we run it back to back.
I love watching the Florida Panthers play. We'll have Patty Maroon join us in about 15 minutes or so to chit-chat about the NHL playoffs, Stanley Cup conference finals that's happening. And how about Texas hockey? Gumpy,
look out.
Big win for Texas hockey over there in the West.
Boys are playing well right now. Harley scores the game winner. Otter, I mean, I can't express enough how good Otter has been at home, especially in this series against the Jets. they're playing really well right now. And Miro just came back from injury. That was the best game he's played over 22 minutes, so it feels like we're hitting our stride at the right time.
Electrifying environment. Great story coming out of the Winnipeg Jets, and then it ends up obviously going the other way. Thought the hockey gods were going to bless the Jets. I assume the Jets and most sports fans thought that as well. They did early, and then what they giveth, they taketh away. The Dallas Stars. And you talk about Otter, for those that don't know 100%. Scheifele. This story is one that's going to be told forever. Dad passes away in the morning, okay? He plays that night, has the first goal of the games. It's just like...
unexpected. Beautiful
sports story. Yeah, Dad passed away unexpected out of nowhere. So he plays, he scores, and it was like, as it's happening, you're watching, you're like, well, this is obviously... something special in the sports world. You think back to Brett Favre. You think back to numerous sports stories of the past where something unexpected comes, something devastating happens, and then it's always the same story. And it was for Scheifele. He said, my dad would have wanted me to play. That's always what it is. But I couldn't imagine how emotional that would be. When they showed him looking up, and I think he was looking up at the Jumbotron maybe, but he was sitting on the bench after the goal, and the angle was him looking up. It's like that guy... I'm almost getting teared up thinking about it now. Just had a moment with his dad, probably. And that's sports are the greatest, man. Legitimately. I think it's one of the ways you could pay tribute is through what you do. And he obviously did that on Saturday. That was a beautiful moment that sports will talk about forever, AJ.
Yeah, I mean, we've known forever, hockey players are built different. These guys, they're the toughest dudes out there on the planet. But I can't imagine, after scoring this goal, or maybe once this game was over when it all had to kind of set in a little more. I don't know. I can't even begin to understand how he did this. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
truly. I'm happy he scored early, too.
Yes, me too. And what a moment. Sorry they didn't win. Texas hockey moves on, but that'll be a story, when people talk about in the future.
Yeah. The handshake line at the end, too. Sorry, Ty. The handshake line at the end of that game with him was phenomenal. It was just incredible.
Lad's shown a lot of love.
And then just classy move by the Stars. I read that their ownership, they chartered a private flight for him to get back to his family right away after the game. So, he didn't fly back with the team. He went right back and got to see his family.
Hockey's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Hockey is awesome. You know what else is happening that we don't talk enough about? The NLL playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what's this guy's name? Chase Frazier?
Chase Frazier.
Chase Frazier. Do you remember this dude from a couple weeks ago, AJ?
Oh, yeah. I remember. I've seen him.
He's back. This guy is back.
Yeah.
And I got some bad news for everybody in the United States of America. This dude's Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Olympics are coming up. Hi. It's the playoffs. That went in. You can't see it because obviously the closed goal, but it was a zoom in of the behind. Yep, here it comes. Hi.
Jeez.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
What?
The Team USA is going to be just fine. And for the Olympics, if that's what you mean by him being Canadian, believe it's the regular lacrosse net, not those nets, regular lacrosse goalie. This is cool for the NLL, but yeah, the PLL boys are going to have something to say about old Chase.
Okay, so that's a big field lacrosse.
But yeah.
This is called box lacrosse.
Yeah, this
right?
is box lacrosse. Yeah, huge in Canada, not as big in the United States.
The reason why it's huge in Canada is because it's always so cold, so they can play indoor, right? So it's in these hockey arenas is a perfect place for this to be played at. Buffalo fills that place up, the Bandits. We've been invited to a lot of the games up there. I am so sorry. Schedule's crazy. Saturday night's main event's happening. Saturday. They got a game this Saturday. Haven't been able to make it. Monday Night Raw tonight in South Carolina. I mean, there's just, a lot going on. But I did not know the NLL's really existence. I am so sorry. That is on me, I think. But they got some highlights. They got some.
Oh yeah, they battle. They actually fight like they do in hockey. Not pushing and shoving. They drop the mitts, if you will. So I mean, Pat Cavanaugh, he's now playing NLL across the San Diego Seals. Good squad. But
Pat Cavanaugh is in the NLL.
Pat Cavanaugh is.
I knew this was our league.
Yeah,
I knew this was our league.
Which one is that?
Patty just won the national championship a couple times
in the Tuaraton. The one that came on.
Well, Chris is the little brother.
Yeah, little
So
Kavanaugh.
Patty is the one that sat there.
Yeah,
Patty is yes, Patty Kavanaugh.
One who was traded from the Connons.
Yes, away from the Connons, who his brother Kavanaugh, older Kavanaugh, won first.
I lose track of Kavanaugh.
Anyway, so the Kavanaughs are now in the NLL?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so sweet. This is my league. I knew this was going to be my league the entire time. As soon as I see this Chase Frazier guy, who I thought was an American for sure with that name.
Yeah, sure.
And I was excited for the Olympics. Like, okay, because I heard box-style lacrosse is what the Olympics is going to be. So I just wanted us to win it. I want us to win the Olympics in this entire thing. Feels like Canada might have a leg up on us.
So box style, just so I'm clear, bigger field,
Smaller.
smaller field, smaller net,
Only short sticks. Yeah, smaller net. Goalies are wearing like hockey pads. That's much different as well. Much smaller net.
Still can't stop shit.
Well, especially when Chase Frazier, who's a good Canadian lad.
He is a good lad.
Might need to bring him down here to solve my Canadian geese issue as well, especially with all these highlights that he's doing. But yeah, this is the style of lacrosse that it's going to be in the Olympics, like a mix, but it's going to be smaller field.
Smaller field, yep.
Smaller field, smaller everything. So the PLL is massive field.
Huge. That's full size lacrosse.
So it's not going to be that. It's going to be smaller like this. Lacrosse, Canadian sport?
Yes.
And then I believe the natives.
Native American sport, but yeah, it is. I believe it's Canada's national sport.
But I believe the Native Canadians and the Native Americans are going to have their own team, right? In that,
they're applying to have one. Hopefully, they let them have one in the Olympics. I mean,
they'll win. Yeah, that's what I've been told.
Exactly. Yeah, hopefully.
From what I've been told, the Native team would win because this is their style of lacrosse. Like this is actually the lacrosse. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Creators game, and then the college had their quarterfinals this week in the Final Four set for Foxborough. Notre Dame lost.
What?
Penn State. Penn State actually basically had one of the largest comebacks you could argue ever in the history of lacrosse. Matty Traynor went bananas in the second half. It was 12-6. Penn State came all the way back, won 14-12. This goal here from Matt Traynor is ridiculous. Just right down the alley. How you doing? Goal, tie game. And that was basically all she wrote for Notre Dame. And then the other teams, they are moving on to play Cornell. And Cornell is the 1 seed. And then on the
other... Well, it feels like we just took a trip back to 2002.
Yeah.
And the quality of that video there looks like the old Rough Riders Anthem music video. That's what I just literally got back to. But Penn State with a 12-6 comeback in football, what is that?
I said like 3 scores, like a 17-point game is probably what it is because, I mean, they rattled off. They were up early. And then Notre Dame, I think they scored 6 or 7 straight goals. Yeah, wow. Matt Trainor's absurd. That's Matty Traynor. I believe he was the Big Ten Player of the Year. He was probably the best player on the field yesterday. Yeah, filthy behind the back.
Is this him too, or is this a different guy?
Is that Matt?
20?
No, it is not him.
Penn
State's very good.
Little English.
Yeah. I mean, Notre Dame, obviously, we had a great run. We appreciate the hell out of Notre Dame for the sticks, the bucket.
Got the bucket. I actually wore the back-to-back shirt here.
Yeah, we appreciate you boys for letting us be a part of your run there for a while. Introducing us to lacrosse, getting us into lacrosse. Yeah. Basically. Kavanaugh boys, how kind they were for us.
You could argue the Kavanaughs are like the most influential lacrosse family since like the Powells.
They've been around.
Of course.
Yeah.
They've been around.
Powells did
the Powells did it.
Mikey Powell, you guys know. Speaking of.
Powell Rabel?
Mike Powell.
His first name or last name?
Paul Rabel on his own. But speaking of Mikey Powell, who you guys love, Syracuse back to the Final Four as well. They're playing Maryland on the other side of the bracket. It is a great Final Four. It should be a great weekend in Foxborough next
Ty,
week.
who's representing the most there?
Yeah, it's crazy. I had no idea that the Big Ten runs lacrosse now, but I guess we do.
This is the thing that the SEC's been talking about in football.
Yeah.
The SEC and all the other conferences are like, hey, those schools up north, they have a bunch of suits that all graduate.
Oh, yeah.
And they have a lot of money. And that one team that just beat Notre Dame, I think I've been pounding this drum since the day I went up to Penn State and got to talk to the people that are up there running Penn State's athletic. It's like they're all in. And it's not just football. It's like we want Penn State to be synonymous with winning sports. And all of their alumni, all of their donors feel the same exact way. I assume Traynor was offered to a lot of places.
Probably.
I assume Penn State is giving him a good amount of money. All of their sports they are investing in, and it's like it's paying off. And we're only like 1-2 years into this.
Yeah.
Let alone 3, 4, 5 years. Right. And it's not just men's sports either. It's like we just want to dominate sports as a whole. Yeah. And it's I think it's a good thing for sports, for people to be invested. And if you're a Penn State fan, especially in the Big Ten, how everything kind of rallies around football, it's like you've been an afterthought for a long time.
Yeah.
Long time. And now the alumni feel empowered to be like, no, we can actually help our school become like a dominant sports school. Because you talk about what they have numerous sports, volleyball, basketball, everything. Whenever they rank at the end of the year, like how your athletic department did.
Like the Capital One Cup.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's like Penn State wants to win it. Like that is very much like, hey, we want people to send us with great athletics. And it's like, I love that for Penn State. And AQ Shipley's going to be loud.
Yeah, the hockey team this year was another team.
Wrestling.
That played. Yeah, the wrestling, of course. Unbelievable.
And we assume football with Aller coming back.
Yeah.
We assume
all those guys.
But to your point, too, like when I was in college, like I don't think any Big Ten schools had a D1 lacrosse team. Like they had club teams and everything, but like if you have money and all of a sudden you want to be like, and the Big Ten forms a conference, like that's how you get a guy like that who's, could go to an Ivy League school, but I don't know where he's from, and then Maryland is the complete other end of that. It's like they just lost their basketball coach because they can't give any money. So like it truly is like the haves and the have-nots, but obviously like Penn State. Yeah. I mean, when you commit to this kind of stuff, like
every sport.
Yeah.
I think we need to just look for Penn State to probably have a team. If we're gambling on a random college sport that we know nothing about and Penn State's in it, I think a safe bet would be that Penn State has invested more than whatever the other school is. And they're just like, cool. They're like, this is what the rules are. This is how this is going to be. And more power to the Nittany Lions.
Yeah, for sure. But to Ty's point too, like with the Big Ten becoming a like powerhouse conference, like that is what will actually help grow lacrosse. I assume, and who knows, but if there are SEC lacrosse teams that are teetering on the edge of like, hey, should we turn D1 and really try and make a run at this thing? The Big Ten winning will help those commissioners of those schools and athletic directors kind of push that because, even Ohio State, like I said to AJ, I want Notre Dame to beat Ohio State last weekend, but Ohio State winning would be bigger for the sport itself because then like kids in Ohio will start thinking, oh, okay, like Ohio State, maybe I'm not big enough to play football or one of those sports there, but like I could easily play.
Can't skate, can't play hockey.
Bingo, yeah.
But I can run. I'm not big enough for football.
Yeah.
Lacrosse is a great sport for that, AJ. And I think the more people that like learn of it, and I think that's a great point. Moving into the Midwest.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, AJ.
These kids see it too. These young kids see all the clips. They see all this stuff. Like all my kids play lacrosse. They see all these guys, all these highlights. And yeah, I think it brings more people to the game, no question. But getting back to the Penn State thing quick, I played with a guy, Ravel Martin. He was a receiver in Green Bay with me. His daughter just transferred from Florida to Penn State for volleyball. She's like one of the best players in the country, and they just got her.
Yeah, that's every sport. That is basically the messaging I got is, if it's sports, we want to win. And it's like, all right, what do you mean? All of them is what we're trying to do.
Incredible.
And they're not the only ones. Like Ohio State, obviously, same. Michigan, the same. But it's like I think this is what a lot of the SEC coaches and the SEC football people are like, hold the phone. If this is just like a bottomless bowl of soup and salad, like this is Olive Garden for money. Like we're not going to be able to keep up. Nobody's going to be able to keep up with some of these schools up in the north. And basically they're like, we'll get it figured out. That's not going to get figured out for years now. I thought this ruling that was going to come from the judge in April was going to like set this thing straight. That doesn't sound like that's anywhere near.
Yeah, that was a hearing.
No. Yeah, that wasn't even. What they're hearing for is not going to.
Yeah, there's no chance.
So you years away from that?
Yeah.
That's what I think, yeah. And I think Coach Saban, his name was thrown in for that commission thing. And he's like, I'm 70 years, I'm retired. Like, you know how much work this is going to be?
That's not a done deal?
No. No, sources, and I think he has come out and said it too, but the day it came out, we came out here and said, I don't know if we did reach out to sources close to Coach Saban, and they were like, that's not even been like really seriously talked about yet.
Oh, okay.
But it is, I think, the thing itself has been talked about.
Yeah.
And Coach Saban and President Trump were together down in Alabama. So I assume there was some like, hey, this needs to get figured out. And I think somebody heard about that and automatically ran with like a Coach Saban's talking to President Trump, and then boom, it always gets out there. And I think the reason why it got out there so big is because all of us think that Coach Saban's probably the right guy to lead this group. But that task to do that, we're talking, there's about 1,000 problems. I mean, just off the top of our head.
Oh, yeah. Where do you start? Like, where do you even start? I don't even know.
I mean, who do you go to first? Because you got ADs, you got presidents, you got conferences, you got coaches, you got players who all have however many different, and then it's 1,000 issues with all of academics you got to worry about in the whole. It's just that's a daunting task that I don't know who's the right person for it. But as soon as we see Saban's name, we're like, yep.
There's the guy.
Hey, commit the next 15 years of your life to figuring out these 1,000 things. It's like, I think he should be a guy that's consulted with it, but that's going to have to be a young man's or young woman's work. That's going to have to be like a life's work almost. And we're in the transition era. And 20 years from now, 30 years from now, it'll probably just be understood that these are the rules. But whenever you're in it, like I was in jail for 12 hours.
Yeah.
Hard time.
When I was in there, that might as well have been 20 years.
Yeah.
When you
2 meals.
Yeah, and they gave me this fake. They told me it's supposed to be bologna. Bologna's a fake meat. How is it supposed to be a fake meat? It's just a faker version of a fake meat. I don't understand. It was good though. And they gave me little cream cookies. I had those as well.
Okay.
I had those as well. But when I was in there, I was like, how does anybody do like real time in here? And then when you look back on it, it's like, you were in there for 12 hours, dude. Like, get over it. It's like, we're going to look back on this time and be like, hey, it took 7 years to figure it out. And when we're past it, we're not going to, but in the middle of it, it's going to be loud. And it's going to be every single conversation in the fall is going to be about rosters, how much is being paid, transfers, this, who has what, who doesn't. Teams are going to disappear. Teams are going to show up out of nowhere. Then they're going to disappear because the well's going to run dry. It's like we're in the middle of full chaos. But the sports are better than they've ever been. So it's hard to really complain in all of it.
And like you said, like teams who have this kind of like bottomless pit, like Penn State and Ohio State and Michigan and like some of the teams like that, like there are no rules right now still. Like we thought a ruling was coming, so it's like they have a chance here until this thing gets finalized where it's like, hey, we could spend like $100 million on our football team and no one can do it.
There's less rules now than there's ever been.
Exactly.
Yeah, and there's more money at some of these places than there's ever been.
Title window?
Yeah, like Oregon.
Oh,
yeah.
If you're Oregon, you got so close. You had one of your best seasons. You lose in the first round after the bye. It's like, okay, so we're going to triple down. Like, why would we not?
Yeah, Uncle Phil is not going to back off of that.
Exactly.
I would like to see the Ducks in their fresh uniforms in the national championship.
Yeah, someone who might be good for it. You saying like it's a young man's game, like to figure it out. Like you think someone who was a former, like a J.C. Treader, like someone who was a president of the NFLPA, like Ivy League, played football, like someone like that retires.
Now he or she, whoever takes that job, is going to have to get paid well too.
Yeah,
because they're going to be given. I don't know how they fix it, brother.
Andrew Luck.
Yeah,
Eric Winston, I know he ran the PA for a while too. Get him involved.
Yeah.
I don't know if Andrew Luck's ever done any business. I guess he's doing it now as a GM at Stanford. But it's like you need business people in there. But who are young business people that are good that understand the sports landscape?
Yeah, I don't think this can be like your first gig.
Jason Wright.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
He might be the guy.
Legitimately.
Former Washington football team president. Former.
Coming from like the
like
PR scandal world.
Yeah, crisis management.
Yeah. Ball player.
Yep.
Hey, Jason.
That's the one.
Hey, good luck.
You got it.
Thanks. Go get it.
15, 20 years of your life, brother.
It's nothing.
He's the right guy.
Figured it out.
Yep.
Legitimately, I
Sure
feel
he wants
like he would be perfect for it. Because, I mean, I don't know if you could go as far as crisis, but for some of these schools, they call this a crisis.
Well, think about if you were in crisis management, the amount of meetings you've had to take and who you've had to talk to. You've had to talk to people that have been devastated by a situation, people that have obviously been blindsided by a situation, or people that have made a massive fuck-up, which all three of those parties are represented in this entire thing in a massive way. I was just about to cold FaceTime him, right? Like literally, I was about to just be like, hey, are you doing you're the guy.
Be like, what? It really is.
Hey, we just signed you up for it. Congratulations.
And being in D.C., like he understands like the political landscape to some degree. Like
holy hell.
Yeah.
Did we figure that out, or has that already been figured out?
I don't think so. That's the first I've heard it.
We would
Who
like
pays
to be
him, though?
consulted.
Government, right? Would have to be a government job, but then all the conferences should chip in and pay them too, so they don't have to do it.
Yeah.
Like Sankey should be like, you know what? We got you an extra $500,000 a year. Petit would be like $750,000, no problem at all. I don't want to deal with that. Big 12 is like, we're not paying you shit because you're screwing us over.
And we got his VP.
Who?
Anthony Gonzalez, baby.
Gonzo.
Yeah, bring Gonzo back.
I don't know if Gonzo wants to get back into the DC world, but maybe. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. He had all parties against him at one point.
Yeah, I don't know if him and the big guy still have the best relationship.
Hey,
So
you know,
You never know.
Gonzo's a guy I bought going by. He's a good business.
For sure.
Yeah.
Politics.
I still think he would have won if he ran again, but I don't think he would want to sign up for what he was going through. He's too good of a guy.
He is.
Which isn't how we should talk about politics. This guy's too qualified, too good of a guy. He shouldn't do it. It should be the complete opposite.
Well, I mean, watch Manhunt. The hunt for Osama bin Laden. You kind of do need some bad guys on your own side.
Yeah, I heard there's a dog that was sitting off the table.
Yeah, there's a couple dogs. Yeah, Kofor Black. Let's just say I want him in our corner. Yeah, we looked up his name. Kofor is his middle name, but he's referred to as Kofor Black in the show. Fantastic documentary if you got some time.
Big weekend. I can't wait to watch it.
It is wonderful.
Allegedly, his Kofor Black guy does not have a seat at the table. He has a seat behind the table so he can listen to what's happening at the table. I've not heard this documentary. President Bush says, we got any ideas? And somebody says, 6 months to do blah, 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 blah. And then Kofor Black is this man's name.
Yes.
Stands up, leans on the table and goes, give me 6 weeks, I can fucking handle this whole problem here. And George Bush goes, boom, you're in the cabinet now.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So
that is the source.
That is how, and then next thing you know, Bin Laden, see ya.
Well,
and then John Cena's coming.
John Cena,
yeah. Next thing you know, you don't realize how many years.
Oh, so 6 weeks was a lot.
No, 6 weeks we were
in
raising hell.
We had a chance.
But it took a much longer time than I think most people remember to actually get Bin Laden.
What's the documentary called?
Manhunt, the hunt for Osama Bin Laden.
It's a docuseries.
3 episodes docuseries on Netflix.
And is that from the same angle as Zero Dark 30, which was the lady? She was CIA.
Yeah,
right?
She was CIA. Yeah. It does kind of go into that. The first episode is, like Bush 9/11 into immediate response. They kind of go minute by minute throughout September 11th, that day. Him at the school in Florida, the whole entire thing. The second episode does kind of turn it up with the CIA, what they did, the hunt, the exact things that they were doing overseas in the Middle East. And then the end of the second episode and the third episode, I don't remember any of this. The one guy that they thought they had really on the inside turned on them. He kills like 7 members of the CIA. And then, I haven't finished the third episode.
I can't wait to watch it. Called Manhunt on Netflix.
Yes, unbelievable.
What's the show? The Last of Us. Last of Us. Is that the one? No. What's the video game that turned into a?
Yeah, The Last of Us.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I guess the episode, it was trending. Everybody was saying they were crying because Pablo said he loved the girl or whatever.
Yeah.
Something like that. It was a big moment.
Last few episodes have been trending. Yeah, the last one, I guess.
Pedro, there it is, not Pablo. Pedro.
Yeah, Pedro Pascal. You kind of combine
Pascal, yeah. Put those together.
You get it.
Sorry about that, Paige. I did watch season 1. I've not watched season 2. Everybody's always super bummed out, but they say it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of stopped watching it too. I've played the games, and it's pretty true to the game.
No, I guess he never said I love you in the game.
Maybe not, but like the kind of larger.
That's what I was told. I read the internet.
The larger story beats. I think a lot of people went in having no idea how it was going to be. And like, if you would have played the game, you'd be like, oh yeah, there's gonna be a lot of people pissed off very early.
I enjoyed season 1.
Season 1 was great.
Yeah, I thought it was
the
great.
comparison of the two is cool. Like, they'll do some scenes and they'll show like the video game scene and then the show scene, and it is identical.
Okay, sweet. So we can watch that. We can watch Manhunt, or guess what's back?
What's that?
Back again. Caitlin Clark.
Yes, she is.
Tell a friend. Pulled up from the parking lot. The second shot of the game. She had the first 2 points on the foul line. Then she had, then they scored a layup, and then she pulls up from logo, from where the 22 is basically on the Iowa court. Cash. She has surpassed everybody in the amount of time that she has played in the WNBA. She fills up every arena in every town that she goes to. Teams have to go to bigger arenas so that they can try to profit off the Caitlin Clark train coming to town. Most 20-point 10-assist games in WNBA history, which I think you could say, yeah, it's a good game. Like that's how you classify. Vandersloot, obviously, 430 games played, had 10 of them. Diana Taurasi, people talk about it as the GOAT, right?
The GOAT.
You're damn right.
564. Where'd she go to school?
UConn.
Okay. 565 games played. She has 9 20-point 10-assist games. And then Caitlin Clark, 41 games played. She already has 9 of them. And it's just like, it was very obvious whenever she was in college that she was different, and she seemed to be more exciting than everybody else. But she also was an incredible passer and like disher in the way she went about her business. It was like, oh, this girl's different. This woman's different. We actually took the show to Iowa for the women's basketball bracket, March Madness, to showcase what she was doing as we followed along, because Ty is from Iowa. Then she gets drafted to the Fever, and what she has done for this city and for this team is unbelievable. Obviously, last year at the beginning of the season, nobody wanted to believe. Okay?
They still don't.
There's a lot of people that still think there's a lot of other. She is the one. Okay? And it pisses off everybody whenever we say it. And then obviously it becomes a whole thing because we're a bunch of doofuses and things like that. But like, this is the golden goose. This is the one. This is the generational, multi-generational player. And we're incredibly lucky that she's in Indianapolis. And she went fucking ham in the opener against the Chicago Sky. And there was a little scene, because Angel Reese comes out, same class. Caitlin Clark comes out, same class. A lot of people saying, obviously, Angel Reese is a massive part of this women's basketball rebirth, which I agree. I agree. She was certainly a part of the entire story and everything else happening. But there was a moment in the game where Angel Reese has a little bit of a push-off on an offensive board. Obviously, she's great at getting rebounds, incredible underneath. Caitlin Clark says, what the hell is that?
Come on!
Caitlin Clark says, what the hell is that, to the ref? And then she says, and most basketball people say, that's a take foul. Instead of a layup, we're going to make you earn it. I think Angel would miss one or both of those free throws instead of getting a wide open layup in that entire thing. Angel was pissed off, thought it was a flagrant. Afterwards, everybody said it was a take foul, But it was very convenient how most of the internet, not all of the internet, most of the internet though, clipped out Angel Reese pushing the Fever girl in the back, Caitlin pointing at the ref like, what are we talking about here? We're not calling that. They clip that out. They just go to right here, bang, Caitlin Clark fouls Angel Reese, and then boom, buzzsaw on the internet about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Ultimately, I think the buzz is good for the WNBA as a whole. I know it's probably not fun to be a part of if you're Caitlin or Angel Reese or anybody else, but in the end, the Indiana Fever win by 100, and Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark have started their second season in the WNBA, and Caitlin Clark is on track to be the greatest of all time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I believe she is already top 3 in triple doubles in the history of the WNBA too.
That's why, there's no argument. I don't understand. People can yell until they're blue in the face. The proof's in the pudding. We've seen all the stuff. And you say, it is good for the sport at large, but I think a lot of people get turned on. It just always goes into a race thing. Every single time, no matter what, that is always the discussion. And then they squash it right afterwards. It's no, not really. That's kind of just a basketball play. In every league, there's going to be adversaries. Angel Reese is the foil for Caitlin Clark, and vice versa. They don't have to get along, they don't have to like each other. They're competitors. That this kind of shit happens, but every single time something like this happens, and we have to go right back to
full on.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't get moved at all. So we're not talking about the game. We're talking about that play, and that's it. And then we'll get the stats about her and her 20 points and 10 assist games and the triple doubles and all that. But the discussion always comes back to this, and I think that's why a lot of people are just kind of fed up.
Well, just know, if you watch a Caitlin Clark game, and I'm not saying that I watch any of the other teams play, okay? I watch Indiana Fever play. Sure. So I'm just going to talk about Caitlin Clark. The Las Vegas Aces, great. New York Liberty, great teams. Mm-hmm. When I see the Fever play, I'm like, these are great teams. Los Angeles, I think they got Kelsey Plum out there.
Yeah, they do.
I think they're going to be great. There's a lot of great teams. I'm just talking about watching Caitlin Clark play. Electrifying.
Yes.
Absolutely. She will pull. She will pull that shit up. She will shake, sidestep, step back, not scared. And then she'll do a no-look pass, full court passes. I mean, her teammates have to get used to her passes, I think, because they've never really seen it before. Yep. She's great for the sport. She's great for the game. And as a guy that has a daughter, Mackenzie, it's great that she's in our city. In Indianapolis, right here, getting a chance to see it. And that's basically who's filling up all these arenas. Now, obviously, there's a lot of adult males who are fans and going to it, but you got a lot of little girls that are coming out watching their hero play. And she's selling out every arena. It's great for the sport.
Yeah, she's the most popular women's athlete on the planet right now, I think. And obviously, her game speaks for, it's just different. It's nothing. I've been watching women's basketball since going to UConn. That was back in 2004. And you just have never you've seen dominant players. You've seen Bree Stewart come and win 4 championships. Maya Moore, Rebecca Lobo, of course. It was before my time, but just her style of play, shooting the deep threes, the passes that she has, she's probably the best college scorer, men's or women's, when it comes to wire to wire as far as a career goes. And like Ty said, that shit with her and Angel, like that's basketball. Like we see it, we watch the playoffs, you see a hard foul, guy gets up, talk shit. Did Angel overreact? Yeah, probably. It was a hard foul. It is what it is. They squashed it after the game and you moved on. But yeah, all the think pieces and everything after the first game. Hey, it's numbers, so I'm sure the WNBA probably likes that part of it, but the other side of it, I think is pretty shitty.
The sport is worth watching.
The sport, yeah.
We don't need all that shit.
Yeah. I mean, what is this, 25, 26 years now for the league in general? So I think we got daughters in here, so where this league will be, where women's basketball will be 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now, I think it'll be in a much better spot because of all the talent and what we're seeing now on a nightly basis.
Watching Caitlin become confident that she's the one out here, too, is awesome.
Yeah, it's
like press conferences, she's leading. Coach is here. Aaliyah Boston's here.
Yeah.
Kelsey Mitchell, dog, great player. She's down there. It's like, this is Caitlin's team.
That's kind of the other part of it, too, because a lot of people kind of almost treat her like she's a damsel in distress type. But like Caitlin, like you would know this more than me. Like when I watched her play, like she was like the villain. She wanted to be like the shit talker. Like she was the dog. She was gonna be in your face. Like this shit's, everybody remembers Angel for it. But that was, Caitlin was doing it. Wasn't the same way. But that mannerism and how she played, like that, like Taurasi. Taurasi, she's an asshole on and off the court, and that's the part of the reason. Like Jordan,
she was wearing Kobe's.
Yeah, the special custom rookie of the year Kobe's. She's cut from that cloth. So I just love competitors. I love shit talkers, and I love to see it on the biggest stages. Whether it's Angel Wilson, Asia Wilson, Caitlin Clark, whoever it is. Big time. Kelsey, she dropped 37, I think.
Yeah, for Los Angeles.
Yeah, so
she feeling free out there in LA.
Looks like it.
Might be.
Let's pivot away from WNBA. How many games? We have the schedule up.
They were 20 and 20 last year, so 40.
40 games? Good luck, ladies. Good luck against the Fever.
What are the odds this year for us?
Fourth, I think.
Third or fourth.
Yeah, I think we're the fourth best.
Because it was Liberty and Aces, and then I think
44 games.
44.
Let's go, Fever.
There it is.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a three-time Stanley Cup champion, a man who is probably going to be able to break down what the Toronto Maple Leafs did last night better than any of us could. We just assumed that this is what Toronto was going to do. I think everybody in Toronto assumed this was potentially a possibility, but this year was going to be different. Telling us if that is the case, ladies and gentlemen, a man with great lettuce, an absolute legend, Big Rig, Patty Maroon.
Yeah, Patty.
What's up, boys?
Hey, Pat, thank you for joining us on this glorious Overreaction Monday. Brad Marchand, Kachuk, Reinhardt, and the Bob and the boys go into Toronto and smack them in the mouth in front of the Beavers. This is what Toronto's MO is, but this year was supposed to be different. How do you think the Toronto Maple Leaf fans are taking this? And everybody in hockey assumed this was going to be the case, or no?
I think for all you guys have been talking about, we're breaking down the game a little bit, but I think the first 10 minutes, Florida had them on the ropes, and then Toronto kind of pushed, the next 10 minutes in the first. It was a 0-0 game going into the second period. Obviously, if you're a road team, you'll take that, but if you're Toronto, you'll take that too. It just seemed like it just got away from them in the second period. And, when you're playing behind in Game 7, it's impossible to come out on top. So I think they played behind. Even if they get that first one, then they score the second one quick, and then they get the third one, and now, the game's probably over right there. But if I'm a Leafs fan, you're probably gutted every year when you see this every single year. Can their core guys get it done? It seems like they can't right now, but they're a great team. I thought they were a different team this year. They played a little harder. They had some more structure in their game. I was pulling for Toronto only because Burby coached me in St. Louis when we won, and Joseph Wall's from St. Louis, so he's a good St. Louis kid. So I was pulling for him in that. Unfortunately, it wasn't their night.
Yeah, in front of the Beavers too.
Man. Yeah, that was a tough look. Maybe he's their bad luck charm, but
Drizzy put $1 million on him too. So there's a lot of different curses. That the internet was talking about. Biz obviously had a fantastic night on TNT.
Yep.
I don't know where he's wearing red in there. It's Panthers color. That's Panthers color.
The little maple leaf in his.
I think he just needs to change his outfit. Yeah. He needs to change his outfit. He never. I felt like every time he wore that outfit, he got rid of the yellow shirt, but even the tie and the jacket, maybe just change it up. Maybe just don't wear it.
He's in the middle of making an album, too. He's in the middle of making an album. He's making a band. I mean, you can't have this guy. How's he supposed to win a Game 7 while he's also making an album? What all can we expect out of Justin Bieber? My last question before the boys have some here. Let's go to the West. Dallas, Otter. Obviously, I heard a quote from him that said, I want to win a Stanley Cup and I want to be the starting goalie for the United States of America. Obviously, Hallebuck on the other side, best goalie in the league throughout the season. Otter was doing some shit this series that was absolutely absurd. You've said if you have a good goalie, you can win it all. Otter, right now, hottest goalie left, and can they win this entire thing down there in Dallas?
Yeah, like I said before in the show, I think even this game right here in Game 6, I think Hellebuck played a tremendous game to give their team try to force a Game 7. I thought they played really well. I think it was a well-rounded game for both teams. They both played great. It was just about, unfortunately, Mark Scheifele was going through some things, and he gets a goal. The team is through some injuries. Morrissey goes down during that game, but as you can see, you need goaltending, you need a big-time save, and that was with like 3 minutes left with Otter right there, making that big-time save. So you need key saves at key moments in the game, and I think just Dallas is just built for the playoffs. They're big, heavy, strong, they're fast. They have a great makeup of the team. They have 4 lines that can roll. They have, 3 pairs of D back there that can, just open up the door and go. So, I mean, with Edmonton, I think, to be honest with you, you got to stop Connor and Leon. I think with Edmonton has been, during the past, postseasons, they don't have depth scoring. And I think they have it this year. They have all 4 lines that have been producing. You're not just counting on the big 2 up there. So it's going to be a great series, heavy series. So I'm really looking forward to this one.
Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, Patty, you won 3 cups. Was there I guess when you think back on those teams, was there a theme or something like the culture that you felt on those teams that you knew like something was special possibly early on? And if you compare some of those teams and maybe times when you were on a team that came up short, I don't know, is there something you could put your finger on of, hey, this team had some kind of common thread throughout when you're all your 3 cups?
The relationships away from the rink was very special. We bonded so well together away from the rink, inside the rink. And I'm a firm believer, if you have those relationships inside, it's going to carry over on the ice. You're going to have confidence. You're going to, stick up for your teammates. You're going to play for the guy beside you. There was a great culture in those cup runs that we went deep on, and that's a huge thing for me. And I think we're seeing it with Florida right now. It just seems like their locker room's clicking. They got good leadership. When someone gets traded there, they bring him in right away. And I think with those runs that we went on, we just, we felt that way. And that's a sign of like swagger to me, a sign of confidence, the belief system, things that, go up and down. Florida loses, the first 2, they find a way to come back, claw back in the series. I think it's just a confident swagger thing that we just had the entire time on these cup runs. Like, no one's going to touch us. We're going to play the same way. We're not going to get out of our game. We're going to be boring. We're going to be heavy. And I think Kachuk's quote yesterday was, the longer you do it in a long period of time in a 7-game series, you're going to come out on top. Eventually, you're just going to wear them down. And I think that's what we did too. And you're seeing that with Florida. They have the makeup of the team, and it's been fun to watch. Man, they're a hell of a team, and they have a goalie. They have 4 lines. They have great D. So they're going to be hard. They're going to be hard to beat. And in the series here, Tanev got hit like 103 times. When you're wearing these guys out, it's exhausting, and I think that's with the culture they have in that locker room, the belief system.
Hold on, say that again. I didn't hear that stat. Say what you said again, because you're big rig and you like hitting people. So these are stats that you like to see. How many times did Tanev get 103 times in the series?
Yeah, that was before Game 7.
Jesus.
So that's a mindset that, like, they're saying, like, hey, we got to get bodies on these guys. Like, for young quarterbacks, for instance, they say, hey, let's get people around his feet. Like, let's just, even if you're late, let's get people, even old quarterbacks, like, let's get people around their feet. You guys have the mindset, like, hey, let's get a body on these guys. That is a real strategy in this thing?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's a strategy for going into a Game 7 series. You want to wear the D out. You want to be exhausting for them. You want to be in their face at all times. You dump it in, you want to lay a lick, you want to make it difficult for them as hard, and you want them to go back. and dump it in. So you want to reload, get that puck back, three-quarter ice them, throw it back in, and do it again. And by the end of it, man, you don't want to go back for a puck. I'm telling you right now, I've been on the other side of it where you can see D are exhausted, they're out of breath, they're coming back to the bench, putting their head down, and physically and mentally, like, I mean, Jesus Christ, are we doing this again? So I think over a long period of time, it's exhausting. So that's what Florida does. I mean, they play a simple style of game where they're good defensively. They break it out clean. They go back the other way 200 feet, and they just lay it in the corner and go. And it's a prime example of, the fifth goal there. I think it was the fourth goal. Marshy lays it into the corner, hit, shot to the net, tip. Boom, back of the net. It's not pretty. It's not pretty, but it's exhausting, and you're going to find your ugly goals.
I love that. That Tanev hit 103 times is more than double anybody else on the ice.
What?
Yeah. Full conversation by Coach Mo. Hey, listen, this guy right here, bodies.
Yeah.
103 times. That's a target. Tanev had to be skating back to the bench in between shifts. Are you guys getting hit every time? I'm getting hit every time I'm out here. That's a wild thing. And I love that you say, yeah, we're trying to wear these guys down, for sure. Just
You have to. You have to. And I think it's playing the right way the whole time. You don't get out of structure. Sometimes you're going to have, a bad game. You're not going to be perfect every game, right? But if you're 65% of that perfect, I mean, you could eventually come out with a win, right? You just wait for the team to make mistakes, and you play a hard, simple game, and throw pucks to the net and find ways to create second and third opportunities. You'll find your way.
Florida's already won, and you talked about the most important thing is being together, and you chit-chatted about it a little bit, but Darius J. Butler, lifelong Florida Panthers fan.
Yeah,
that's a question for you, Patty.
Yeah, you talked about that culture, and you specifically mentioned when trades come over, when players come over that have been traded. Seth Jones and Marchand, obviously they played a huge role right now with the core guys that are already there. What has been their impact right now on this Panthers team throughout this playoff run? And I want you to talk a little bit about that I believe it was the third goal from Jonesy where he kind of kept his stick off the puck, waiting for his guy to get back on side. So just tell me about these guys and the impact they've had on the squad.
Yeah, I got the opportunity to play with Jonesy this year in Chicago. Obviously, it wasn't a good fit for him. He needed to go somewhere and, not be the guy, but, play with guys and surround himself with good players and good culture. And, man, he's really come out. This is like I feel like it's not his coming out party because he's been an elite player in this league for so many years. But, man, he's looking really good out there. You can tell when Ekblad was out, he fit in right away with this team. And his offense ability is coming out. But I think the biggest thing for me is how he plays defensively. He's playing against the top lines every single night. He's playing hard. His stick is really, really good. So it's been really fun to watch him. And he's been producing with them, man. He's been scoring some big-time goals. And this goal right here just uses his size, uses his skill, takes it to the net on that one where he beat him wide. But I think they didn't count it. But, I mean, this shot on the 2-on-1, the first one, I mean, that was a snipe. But Jonesy's an elite player in this league, and I'm very happy with him right now. And he fits in really, really well with that Florida Panthers team, and I'm proud of him. And with Marshy, man, he can fit anywhere. It's like that's like his team, like Kachuk, Bennett, those are his guys. They all play the same way. They're hard. They're in your face every single night. And Marshy fit in right away. That third line has been so effective, so consistent for that team. And they've been scoring some big-time goals for the Florida Panthers. And it looks like that line's been gelling right away, right out of the gate. But I think the biggest thing for me is the culture they have in that locker room, how they bring those guys together, and they fit in probably from day one. So I think that's the biggest thing. And then you can just play hockey, right?
You talked about him being in the third line and fitting in immediately. He answered that question to the TNT boys afterwards. It was brought up by the white on the far right.
Yep.
Was it Colby Armstrong?
Yeah, Colby Armstrong last night.
Colby, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Colby brings it up. He goes, "You're a third liner for this Florida Panthers team to Marchand. You're like a depth guy," is kind of how he worded it. And Marshy talked about how towards the end of the year nobody was healthy, so they didn't really know who was going to play with who. And then he said as soon as he got with that group, the chemistry was immediate. He said we all play pretty similar. We're all in there. Is there guys that you work better with than you don't work with? Like, is that something that Marshy would have literally been able to figure out, or is he just kind of being humble about being able to play with anybody? Is there like certain, like, because I remember Gensel and Sidney Crosby, for instance. Gensel and Crosby, immediately upon Gensel getting there, it was like, knew where the hell to be. Crosby was feeding him. This dude's scoring goals immediately upon getting there. And then there's been other guys, obviously, that Sid's been able to kind of mesh with. But when Marshy says that immediately they had chemistry, what does that mean? They're just seeing the ice the same way, or what do you think he meant by that?
Yeah, I think they're reading and reacting off each other. I think they see the ice pretty well together. I think they similar games. I think the hockey IQ that they have is probably similar to what he's used to playing with. Obviously, Marshy playing with Pasta and all those guys, Bergeron and Boston. But I think with him, it just seemed like it clicked right away. Those are two young players he's playing with. They're hungry, and I think they have tenacity. They kind of have that never give up fight on pucks. They kind of read and react off each other, and it just seems like it's been a great fit. With Marshy's hockey IQ, he's an elite player in this league. I think he's a Hall of Famer, and when you have that veteran presence on your line, I think it kind of boosts those other two, right? To get them, playing maybe with a little more hockey IQ, a little more offensive ability, right? And you can see it. They're producing great for this team, and they have depth scoring, and that's huge for them. And when Marshy's saying he's a depth player, I don't think he's a depth player. I think he fits in perfect, right? He's still playing his minutes. He's on the PK. He's on the power play. He found a line and he found a home that kind of fits with him right now. And I think they're their most consistent line right now.
I think Points was saying too, at 37 years old or whatever. I mean, Marshy's an absolute dog. I enjoy him.
I do too.
I enjoy him a lot, just as an entity, just as a being. I really appreciate he's got to be good to be the way he is, obviously, and he's great. And you said Hall of Famer. In my head, I don't know the rules for the NHL Hall of Fame, but I would have just assumed that Marshy was Hall of Famer as well. Happy to hear that you think that, and now I feel much smarter. Now let's go to the West, shall we? Connor has a question for you, Patty.
Yeah, Patty, what do you think about the Oilers being off for so long? I'm not sure during recent playoff runs how much rest some teams have had, but it feels like we haven't seen the Oilers play in over a week, and you could argue the same with the Caniacs as well. But how do you feel about the rest for two of these teams versus the other two kind of just having to turn around and go play immediately after wrapping up their two respective series?
I can go both ways. I think for me, if your team's a little banged up going into the playoffs and you made it this far and you find a way to close out a series early, I think it's awesome to have some rest, get those guys a little bit healthier. If they're playing at 80%, maybe you can get them at 90, 95%. So I think it will be fine for them. For me, some players too, it can go down the list. Some players would like to play right away, get this thing started, no breaks and find a way. But I think West, it's tough, with Dallas just finishing. But for me, rest is a weapon. You got to use it, and you got to find ways. So I think with these guys being off, if they're a little banged up, I think they're going to come back just fine, right? You can take a couple days off, practice, days off, but Dallas is obviously coming off a hard series, so they're going to be ready to play Wednesday. So I think Edmonton will be fine, though. I think they needed some rest because they went on a deep run last year in the Stanley Cup Finals, an emotional, loss for them in Game 7. But, I think there's this time of year that teams that go deep, you need the rest.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, speaking of that, Patty, obviously, your team's never really had any issue with this because you won 3 consecutive Stanley Cups. But for a team like Florida, how much does fatigue come into play because this is going to be their 3rd consecutive season with a very deep playoff run? Do you feel that at all? Is it kind of one of those things where after the season ends, you kind of just have that big release and you're just dead tired? Or how does that work going into one of these series?
I think you're running high still. You're still your adrenaline's pumping. You're still going. You're playing meaningful games down the stretch. I think, Florida's trying to do what Tampa did and Pittsburgh did, 2 cups in a row. So I think with these guys, it seems like their engine never stops. I think they'll be just fine. They're going to be 3rd conference finals in 3 years. It seems like they still got a lot of juices left. It seems like they're playing at a high pace right now. So I don't think they're going to stop anytime soon. But like you said, though, when it's all said and done, you achieve your goal, then you can sit down and rest and be like, thank God that's over. Thank God we had the opportunity to lift that Stanley Cup. It was well worth it. So I think that's what they're doing. And listen, they got Marshy coming back. They have Jonesy. They got some guys that, that have some energy that haven't went deep in a long time. So, they can feed off their energy. And they got a goalie that's looking great right now. But it seems like their engine's going right now, and they're playing some great hockey. So I'm not too concerned about that.
Yeah, Kachuk had some games off, too, obviously, with that groin injury from Four Nations. You won 3 straight Stanley Cups, one with St. Louis, 2 with Tampa. Go Bolts. What was the most absurd thing you put in the Lordo Stanley Cup?
I put toasted raviolis in there because it's like a St. Louis staple.
Delicious.
With sauce?
Yeah.
Was there sauce in it,
Marinara?
There was sauce in the Stanley Cup, and then we dipped the toasted ravs in the Stanley Cup with the sauce in there. So yeah, that was the most outrageous thing. But I think for me, probably just putting 1,000 beers in there.
Of course. Joker. I appreciate Joker, too. As soon as the Nuggets lose, he goes, the next few days, probably a lot of beer. If I had to go. And then, obviously, you hear about as soon as I had an opportunity with Stanley Cup around me, it was like, gotta drink a beer out of this thing.
Yeah.
Have to drink a beer. Well, you're not allowed to do that because you didn't win it. Well, Rupper's here. He won. So he will pour the beer into your mouth or whatever. Here's we actually have a clip of the grazie, the mozzarella, the ravioli going into Lordo Stanley Cup there. 1,000, how many beers does it hold? 6?
I think 6 or 7.
Have you done one in full swoop?
Oh, yeah. No. Half. It's heavy, though. You got to do it yourself unless someone's doing it for you.
Has anybody ever taken down a full cup of beer?
I'm sure they have. For sure.
That's a lot of beers.
That's a lot of beers.
That's a lot of beer. As I know you hockey guys drink an immense amount of booze. I also fancy myself as an old school, pretty big drinker, booze bag. I don't know. 7 beers is a lot of space.
Oh, yeah.
Just in there as a whole.
Chara won that thing. Chara can put down 50 beers in a sitting if he needs to. He's like 8 feet tall.
Yeah, he is a gigantic human being.
Yeah.
I mean, when you win, anything is possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's pretty valid.
You can drink 7, no problem, if you win.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that.
Because you're probably deleting about 50 that night anyways.
Sure.
Boom.
Yeah, you're right. Who cares what's coming and going?
Yeah, right.
You just want Lordo.
Exactly.
We appreciate you making time for us, Patty. Will you continue to come on as the conference finals continue? We appreciate you.
Absolutely. I'll come on anytime.
That's great news. That helps us out booking.
Thank goodness.
Jesus Christ. Thank you so much.
I was supposed to go in the studio on Wednesday, but with the new baby, it's impossible right now. So
You got a new
I'm
baby?
going to try. Yeah, baby girl.
Congratulations. How many kids?
3.
Holy
2 girls and a boy.
Congrats, man. So how newborn? Like very recent? Within weeks?
Yeah, 4 weeks.
Man.
Jeez, you're in it right now.
Yes, you are.
You're in it.
I'm on that's why I was late today. I'm in it right now. The grind's real.
That's life. That's life, buds. That's Navy SEAL camp for humans.
Again, hit more than 10.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Couldn't even imagine it, Donna. Well, congratulations to you and Mama on a new baby. Congrats to you on crushing TV, and we appreciate the hell out of you for your time.
All right, thanks for having me, boys. Talk soon.
Hey, after you get out of this stage with the new baby girl, maybe we go back to Lordo, 1,000 beers. Yeah. You know what I mean? Maybe some. Yeah, maybe. All right, Patty Maroon.
Patty.
I mean, I had some raviolis in there, but for me, it was mostly just like 1,000 beers. Everybody you've ever run into in your life, you want to drink a beer, Lord?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
That was AJ. That was your still is probably.
Yeah.
Drinking a beer out
with
of that.
Jack.
Absolutely, yeah, I think it still is. Yeah, I don't know. Has anyone turned it down? If someone said, "Hey, you want to drink a beer out of the Stanley Cup?"
Oh yeah, somebody grandstands about.
Yeah, you're right.
That's not who I am anymore. And I'm proud of people that aren't. I want to let people know that I'm proud of them for figuring it out and doing their thing. But if Lord Stanley Cup is presented, I think you kind of have to do the hockey gods a favor.
Yeah.
And house that beer.
Yeah.
7 beers. I don't know, man.
That's a lot.
Definitely could do it. You've
you
done
probably
that before.
You did the beer bong off the second story.
Yeah, 6. That was 6.
Okay. So you can definitely do it.
That came out.
Right.
Immediately?
Well.
So I crossed the street. No, I want to let him see me do it. Are you kidding me? The place went bananas, obviously. Walk in there, hit this thing. The place goes crazy. Oh, my God. Ah!
See you guys.
Yeah, projectile.
Yeah. Paul Rudd, I love you,
as
man.
fast as possible. Yeah, had to turn a corner.
Well, that's the problem is
7 beers.
You can't do that if you would have had to probably at least drink like 10 beers before you do a 7-beer one. Like that can't be.
I've seen someone do 18. So
yeah.
Who?
Our
AQ?
our American hero
Joey Chestnut did 13.
He did.
I think it was a baker's dozen. I don't think it was
Still.
18.
You also you can't do it like right after winning because you like pass out and die. You're so dehydrated
There's
right
a lot
after.
of beers, but remember they don't get the cup for
but
like.
there's a lot of water in beer.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like in the locker room right after winning. I feel like that's when your
barley
adrenaline
water.
is so high. You know, it's like fucking put 7 of those things in there. I could do this.
And they just dump. Hey, beer on in jerseys, beer on sweater, beer in the mouth. Let's keep it moving. I just found out Patty Maroon wasn't going to be here on Wednesday. Is that what you just found out?
Yeah.
That's what
certainly.
That's what I just found out. I appreciate him doing that to our face.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know how he's been doing this with a 4-week-old.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts that he even was on TNT last week.
That's what I'm saying. Shout out Mama.
Yeah, weapon.
Shout out Mama.
Maybe like Lord Stanley's handlers.
Mike.
Mike.
Kate.
Mike with the good hair.
Yeah, he's got the gloves on still.
Still Mike?
Yeah. Help with the baby a little bit.
Definitely.
What's that?
How long has it been Mike?
50 years,
Yeah.
maybe 100 years.
Forever.
He actually named it
Yep.
Stanley Cup.
He created the cup.
His name's Mike Stanley.
He's been there since before it was that tall.
Trophies.
He's not the Lord Stanley. He's the Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the greatest trophy in sport.
Yeah. Not even close.
I agree. The Borg War,
The Indy 500 thing.
Yeah.
Also up there.
awesome.
Yeah.
The Wanamaker needs to figure it out. Stop putting your golfers in a bad
Yeah.
position.
Glue that top on, man. Do something.
At least a half cock on it. Like there has
Yeah.
to be some sort of like halfway
Yeah, a latch.
something. Yeah, a latch is easy. Scotty Scheffler's like calmest, coolest guy of all time. Yeah, just boom. He looks like an asshole now.
Yeah.
Like doesn't need to look like an asshole.
Or take it off.
Yeah, just don't have it up there. Have it be a cup because it is a Wanamaker cup. They should have that sitting next to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should have that sitting next to it because they know what's happening with that whole thing.
Then you can bring in one of those.
That is a beautiful trophy.
It is.
Someone told him.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Scotty Scheffler's so locked in. He's just, I'm trying to win the trophy. I'm not worried about what the trophy is. The trophy's a trophy, right?
Yeah.
Let alone this one. We saw this one the other day.
Yeah, that was.
That's right.
That's set up for
JD
disaster,
Vance.
too.
JD Vance just.
That's a terrible setup.
Yeah, that one's dumb as well.
Yeah, we're just trying to like just be.
I have one
Just
piece.
trying to have a good time.
Just look at the
Lambo.
Stanley Cup.
Lambo. That's a beautiful trophy.
Yeah.
Oh, no doubt. They're all beautiful.
And it's one piece. It doesn't.
It's one piece. It's simple. I mean, it's
It's the same.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Larry O is beautiful as well.
One piece.
But as far as like the best ones have a little panache. You know, like that thing is huge. The Stanley Cup is huge.
The Borg.
The Borg is huge. Even the college football trophy, pretty large. You know.
Yeah.
Like the biggest ones have the best moxie.
Yeah, I concur.
The worst trophy you could argue is the biggest tournament. The World Cup trophy stinks.
Easy.
Really?
And
I did not
What's
know
it
we were
like?
going that way.
Me neither, but you're right.
That thing is beautiful.
It's like
Biggest
big,
tournament.
dude.
the,
Pure
Fi-
gold.
the
It's
FIFA
like this
Club,
big.
the FIFA Club World Cup that you were with was beautiful.
That was a great trophy.
Yeah, that thing's awesome.
Think about these people walking up to me. Okay, when I did that, the boxing extravaganza in New York Times.
when you weren't supposed to touch.
Yeah, they hand me this trophy. Like during the break, you know, they asked me during the day, like, "Hey, do you mind if we bring the trophy up? It's for the first Club World Cup this year or whatever." I'm like, absolutely, would love to see it. You know, can't wait to see it. Do the whole thing. Then they try to figure out where they're going to put it. It is a big. It is a big.
Really
trophy.
sweet.
Gorgeous. Look big too.
Yeah.
So they obviously tell me you're just not allowed to touch it. They tell me that earlier in the day. I go, okay, and I just move along. Me and Booker T are talking. We're having a good time. Like this is WWE folks are in there. We're in a diner. Me or the entire thing. They're pitching us. It's get Fat and Marty's rolling. You know, Lindsay Lloyd's throwing 100 on the paint. I mean,
Always.
the elite fittings cooking in the. I mean, there was. I think Nick was even there at one point. It was good. It was good vibes in this diner. Long day, good vibes in the diner. So they come in. They're saying, "Would debut the trophy? You hang it? Yeah, do the whole thing." So they tell me can't touch it. I go, okay, sounds good. And then they leave. You know, me and Booker T get back to the conversation about Booker T being one of the greatest humans to ever exist. More people need to know that. I love Booker T. Sent him a text last Friday to join the show. He sent me a text on Sunday. He said, "Is this on Zoom?" It's like, all right. We need you. So they bring the trophy back up, and they put it right next to me, and they go, you are not allowed to touch it. I go, should you move it down the table a little bit more? Because that's very close to me. No, you're not allowed to touch it. Just take the thing off and don't touch it. I go, okay, sounds good. And then as soon as you see that thing, it's hard not to just be like flies on shit, brother. What are you talking about? Yeah, look how nice this is. Let me see if it's real or not for the people at home. Booker, remember they told me don't touch it. Yeah, I remember Terrence Crawford, he was really in on it. Bud was in on it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bud wanted to touch that thing. Bud was really worried about it. That's been a non-cease fight in Canelo.
Bang.
Anyone say anything?
Oh, yeah, there's the two handlers were right off.
Drew guns.
Yeah. They asked us to actually take that down. They asked us to take that down. Don't share that ever again. It's like, all right.
Because you touched it?
Yeah. Could you please? We want the first people to touch this to be the first ever.
Whose trophy is that?
The Club World Cup.
Yeah, how does that differ from the other World Cup?
It's the first time ever happening, yeah.
Who won it
in America?
No, it's happening in the summer, June.
Yeah, first
it's
time
actually
ever, legit.
for shoot. Sounds awesome.
What teams are competing?
Seattle Sounders,
Whitecaps,
Real Madrid,
Portland Timbers,
Barcelona, I think, Manchester City.
Got the Crew, the Cincy Storm.
It's like it's an actual.
So it's like Champions League?
Champions League for the whole world.
These are the real teams playing. Since the Storm's playing,
the only teams from the MLS that are in it are Inter Miami and the Sounders, and then LAFC is playing in a match that if you get in this tournament, you basically get $10 million. So whoever wins this match is for $10 million.
Okay, so there's a lot going on in soccer.
Yeah,
and I would say the trophy, I felt it. It's a real deal.
$100 million to the winner as well.
$100 million.
$100 million to everyone.
Wait, who gets the money? The team owner? Who gets the money? Or the players all get it? Do the players get a
I assume
bump?
there's a slotted percentage for the players. I would assume.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
100 million.
Yeah, 0.05%.
Where's that money coming from?
They wanted to make it $1 billion. That's what they wanted.
Who's financing this, Goop?
Who's coming from?
Who's financing that? I thought
Sports, baby.
That's where Ronaldo is.
It's FIFA, baby.
Big investment in sports, baby. Come on. We like these. $100 million tournament that just got created.
Yeah.
We like that.
Why not?
Is this the second biggest one behind the World Cup now or behind CONCAFA?
Yeah, it'll be up there for sure.
World Cup, CONCAFA,
MLS.
Club, MLS Championship.
Gold Cup.
And then the Club World
FIFA
Cup.
Club World Cup.
Got it.
TST.
Oh, yeah. It's different.
And then.
That's up here.
And then the World Cup.
TST is about to happen.
Hopefully.
I don't know if my lungs or legs know that.
Hopefully.
Hope we're not expecting the cleats to touch my feet this year, but we will certainly.
I thought you're putting in a good 60, 70 minutes a game.
Well, that's not how long the games are. Thanks for paying attention last.
How long are they?
It could be.
They could be. there's no ending. You know, I like how to do the ending.
Oh yeah, target time.
Yeah,
that's a great.
Oh yeah.
All soccer should be target score ending.
All soccer.
Also need to be prepared for the possibility of T-Wolves at Pacers game 1 of the NBA Finals.
Yeah, might have to be there for that. That's happening at the same time as TST. Might be some carry Indy transportation, show up in jeans. Let's go, boys. I got to touch the pitch one time with the arena boys.
Yeah, no doubt.
I know meeting the boys are ready for a TST. I don't know if the rest of TST fully understands what we did with this team this year. Fosso want to work.
Complete overhaul.
Yes,
Really?
Fosso. Well,
Really?
we learned the sport. We learned the tournament a little bit. It's like, what's everybody else doing? Oh, we have too many. This is like a lacrosse conversation.
Yep.
Bingo.
We have too many big field guys. We need box field guys, arena guys, just like lacrosse, the whole thing. And it's like, that's who kind of understands this the most, especially with the goalie work. Wait till you see our fucking goalie. Not that Stoner and the boys weren't fantastic.
Yeah. Sure.
Loved our goalies last year, but they were big field goalies.
Gigi?
Oh. Tony? Tony's coming back?
Tony Molo
Hopefully.
will be coaching the team.
Okay.
Coach / goalie.
I don't think he's getting on the pitch, but would like him to. If he's up to it, I'd like him to put his little finger saver gloves on.
Yep.
I'd like to see Tony Miola get out there. I'd like to see him do his backflip, too, that he used to do back in the day at the coin toss. Want to flip for it? Boom. Tony Miola hits a backflip. Yeah, we'll flip for it. How about that? Give me the ball, and we'll move forward. We have another assistant coach that has been added to the roster that people know. And then, obviously, manager Gampino is still going to be there to keep the refs in line.
Peter Cech in that now.
I thought it was Gigi Buffon.
It's not Buffon or Peter Cech. It's somebody better than both of them. Remember, you guys are thinking big soccer again. You guys are thinking big field soccer.
Sure, but goalie, I mean, Gigi can do anything.
Yeah, but this guy can play with his feet big time in target time.
Target score, brother.
You guys bringing in Dominic Hasek?
Yeah, basically. Basically.
Good call.
Smaller goal.
Basically. With a full.
Manuel Duar.
Yeah.
Feet like Noir.
Just know we got a team this year.
Are we going to go further? You guys had a pretty good run last year.
Yeah, okay, Foxy, feels like you said that because you know what the answer in my mind is.
Yeah, I mean, that was amazing last year, and I'm just wondering if you guys are going to do better because that's going to be tough to do.
Of course they will.
Thank you, AJ. That's a really good answer out of you. There's a chance for me in my eyes, the way I viewed this was we had a hell of a run. We had a great time.
Yeah, fuck it.
Legit magic last year.
Great team. Things were great. We're going to be able to replicate that, we think?
We got a lot of depth this year, to be fair. We ran out of gas late in that tournament last year. We had guys playing full games.
Boom. And Mike Foss went to work, started building up the roster, and he's like, this is what the roster could be if we want to do this. And it's like, oh, we got better. The issue is I think the other teams did too.
Sure.
So I think this TST thing was a spectacle, was it not? I mean, that was an awesome event, I think.
Very cool to watch in person. I don't know what it's like watching it stream. Actually, I did. I saw it when I went back. I watched you guys play after I went home. It's still cool on TV, honestly, because of how it's set up and small. And then the target time at the end just makes it all worth it.
Yeah, because any team can win.
Yeah, you're never out of the game. That's what I love it. You're no matter what, you're never technically out of it.
And they're eliminating players.
Yeah.
Goes down.
Yeah. Wasn't it 2-on-2 in the semis or the championship? It was nuts.
And you need your goalie.
Yeah.
So because if not, one of the players has to put on a penny. Goalie, it's just it's like a chaotic scene. So, but if you have a goalie that can play, it's like that's a massive benefit. Not that our goalies weren't great goalies. Guy stood on his head, if I remember, last year for us. But I think it was Stoner. And then immediately upon target time, we had to take meat off the field. Need meat on the field.
Yep.
Had to take meat off the field. Then he had to sub back in to be goalie. And he scored like 3 or 4 goals for us from goalie. But he was also off the field for like 4 or 5 minutes in like the most important time because he had to do the whole thing. So we learned. But I think we're not the only. That TSD tournament's very well done.
Yeah.
There's some teams trying to cheat as well this year, so we'll see how that goes.
Why aren't we doing that?
I think we are. We're trying to cheat.
No, I've seen some guys on these teams that are actually under contract with pro teams, so I don't know what that's all about.
Oh,
then you need to sign some of those guys.
Lou?
Yeah,
I didn't know that Lou was available.
I don't know if they changed the rules.
I did see a breaking report with Lou.
Yeah.
Did you interfere?
It could be us. It could be CONCAFA, to be clear.
Yeah.
I don't know what Mike Foss is up to behind the scenes. Okay, he's acting general manager of CONCAFA SC. Maybe he was the one that got involved in the Lionel Messi Inter Miami negotiation and said, hey, we got something for you at TST, pal. Make sure they have a slot in that contract where you can come play for us. Or maybe he just says, I don't want to be under contract with anybody so I can play in TST, because that is the rules. You can't be under contract in a main division or something like that. I forget what on a team.
Yep.
So there's a lot of guys last year that were getting signed like a week before TST to these teams because they were on like a Premier League team. And then their contract runs out and it's like, hey, you want to come play in TST for us? Sure. There's like 5-6 guys that were playing international at a high level that were signed like within a week to these other teams. I didn't know it was happening this early though. I didn't know now that we are able to do this, I might have to call a general manager, a team, and say, hey, have we snooped around with Lou Messi?
Yeah.
Something to think about.
Steve Nash playing?
I don't know if Steve Nash is playing.
Does Jage have a team?
Let's hope. That's a layup.
I think he's actually banned from the tournament.
I was going to say, after last year, I don't know if they want him back.
The watch raised some hell down there.
Yeah. Almost killed the guy.
He was so big. Watching him like attack people that had the ball in person, I saw him. I'm like, Jage, I had a great time watching you play. Like you played so hard.
He played a lot.
He played lights out too. Like he was 100% the whole time.
I almost scored a goal, and we said, "Shut up, Jage," because he played in the first game at the same time as us. How'd it go? He said, I almost scored. I'm like, Jade, shut up. And then we watched the replay. It's like,
he did.
Guy
Damn, you did, yeah.
Guy was scoring. And then against CONCAFA, he was playing in the extra time goals.
He had to go.
He was playing the whole thing. It was like, Jade, Jesus, I had no idea you were in this good a shape. Their team lost inevitably.
Yeah, we gave him hell the entire game. I don't think he was a huge fan of that. But
there's him fouling. Just fouling the shit out of Zach. This guy's representing the United States of America right now, I think, in football. Same with Meat.
Is he back?
I believe Zach will be back. The Arena Boys, I believe, are back intact.
Okay.
Yeah, JJ went for Gordo. That was a bad move by him.
Yeah, sure did. And then
Zach. Gordson?
Yeah.
Then Zat.
Yeah.
Zat and JJ.
Yeah, they had a nice
big excellent battle.
Is that that's probably the two biggest dudes bumping into each other on a soccer pitch in the history of soccer.
Probably.
Good chance.
I mean, maybe like Puyol, Van Persie, throwback.
Sure.
Speed.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said.
That's a legitimate poll.
It is.
Maybe Zizou.
Zizou, sure.
What did Zizou do in his last game?
Fucking, he Zizou'd everywhere. Everyone was like, "Where's this guy going? Is he zigging? Is he zagging? No, he's Zizouing."
Zizou would have fit in well with the CONCAFA team.
Yeah, need him.
He actually headbutted a guy in a World Cup.
Oh, Zidane today.
Zizou. Yeah.
Oh, that's his name is Zizou. I knew that.
Bonjour, Zizou.
I knew that. If you said Zidane, see, I'm a formal guy when it comes to soccer. I don't know all the nicknames. You know, I'm not that in the loop.
Oh, you're kind of 30,000 foot view.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like to check in on my footy guys.
TST coming up in a very short amount of time. I was looking up things on that can make me lose 30, 40 pounds, and then what can make my lungs better.
Okay.
In a week and a half or whatever it is. How long we got?
Two weeks out.
Two weeks.
Both of those seem like a.
Yeah, I need a super.
But you got some good results. Get some good answers on that.
The
Quick
internet,
30.
the internet always has the answers.
Yeah, I do.
I did find some things. I ordered them. I ordered them all. We'll see if they work. Time will tell. You know, time will surely. Did you see this, Age?
It's nasty. It's like you tore your pec or something.
I know. What do you think it was? Legit.
I think it was the elbow you were talking about. I think it was that weird elbow he threw. But you're right. He definitely has internal bleeding still. He might be in the hospital. We don't know.
If I had to guess.
What did Five Fingers say to his
hits on the inside.
What's that, buddy?
Sorry. His bruises don't. Yours are out on the outside. His are on the inside, so it's much more serious.
No, we don't know. He wore a full shirt the next day, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he did.
Might have one tonight.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what it looks like tonight.
Good card tonight.
Hey, Monday Night Roll out from South Carolina.
Yeah.
Sheamus back.
There's a banger coming.
Oh, yes.
Him and Grayson.
Couple bangers.
So Sheamus, lad of the program, friend of the program, after the Gunther fight, comes up to me. He goes, fella, you could have practiced on my chest if you wanted to. Because that was first time ever. So what you saw was first time I've ever laid ones and
chop them.
Ever. Hand hurt so bad after the first one. I'm like, holy shit. How is this going to go for the rest of the match? And just goes numb, by the way, which almost helps it. Which almost helps it. You start throwing that thing around. You can't feel it at all or whatever. But that was that was look. You see red on his chest. You see it.
Oh yeah.
You see that?
Blood. He's bleeding a little bit, I think, too.
Bingo.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Just cut him.
Took a lot. Gave some. Yeah, that was a big one. Yep, that was a big one. So I wonder if he had already bruised my. Yeah, jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. All right, he can take that down. Thanks, Foxy. Jeez. Jesus Christ, it's always the same clip.
Yeah. Can't see that.
Well, the whole fucking match, it's always that same clip. I just go and watch
You guys
time
raise
and
some
time again. Jeez, no bruising there yet, but it was already in pain.
It was changing blows, yeah.
It was already in pain. But yeah, Sheamus told me I could have practiced on him.
What a guy.
Legend.
Yeah, but you know what that means.
Truly.
Got a couple.
Some receipts.
He practices on you.
Yeah,
Keep those receipts.
I laughed. I said, I don't think so, bub. He goes, what? I said, you would have just let me. Well, I would have probably showed you. I'm like, yeah, exactly. I'm going to try not to do that ever again.
Yeah.
I'm going to try not to be in that situation ever again. But you got to do what you got to do.
Got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. Hopefully Cole doesn't run his mouth again.
So him talking about the Knicks, he's already doing his full shit.
Sure.
Doing his full shit. The Mets, I think he's out.
Yeah, a lot of people.
What?
A lot of people are souring on Juan Soto.
Really?
Yeah, I could have never thought this was going to happen.
Juan Soto is the big signing from the New York Yankees to the New York Mets this offseason.
Correct. The Mets locked him up. They spent $765 million on him. It's a massive, massive contract.
That's how much money he's getting paid?
Correct. Over the next
Guaranteed.
15 years. Yeah, all guaranteed.
765, not like a fee to the Yankees for
No. He gets every bit of that $765 million.
Holy shit.
He hasn't had a very good start, and this weekend in baseball was like the rivalry weekend. So Mets and Yankees played the Subway Series. Juan Soto went 1 for 10. Not great. Not really what you're paying a guy $765 million to do. He had a base hit in the 8th inning. Not really a base hit, but he hit one hard up the middle, and the guy for the Yankees, their second baseman, made a diving play, and Juan Soto's just fucking loafing it down to first base. Gets thrown out. People don't love that when you're not hitting. Hey, this is a high leverage situation. We're trying to win this series here. This fucking guy's walking down to first base. He actually did play pretty good in the field, but yeah, you can't be paying $765 million for a guy, and in the biggest moments, he goes 1 for 10, in the series.
Okay, so that's Juan Soto's story.
Mm-hmm.
Now tell me about the Paul Skeens story.
Yeah, I mean,
this is horseshit.
Yeah, it is.
I explained this to Paul Skeens in front of an arena of 12,000 people in Pittsburgh. about how the reason why they are chanting "sell the team" with you up here is because everybody in Pittsburgh knows that with how great you are at your job, this means you're going to get wasted. You're going to be gone. You're just not going to play here. And Paul Skeens, to his credit, coming into the season was like, I want to change this in Pittsburgh. I want to be the reason the Pirates change the way they do business. I want these Pittsburgh fans who have been great to me to experience what great baseball is like yet again. Because we have the ballpark, we have the tradition, we have the Yinzer fucks that would show up. Paul Skeens bought into all of that, legitimately. Perfect ace.
Young and naive.
That's what people from Pittsburgh are saying.
I saw your tweet too, Tony.
Yeah.
Let him out.
Yeah, so he threw the first complete game of his career. Only
8 innings.
Yeah, because they were the away team and they were losing, obviously, going into the ninth. So the Phillies didn't need to bat in the bottom of the ninth. But it's one of those things where he would never say it. But he has to be perfect every single time he pitches. I think the stack that's going around right now is in like his 9 starts this year, or it's either 9 or 10. He has 17 earned runs that he's given up, which is unbelievable. I believe the Pirates, I mean, he's 3-5 right now. Like, so if he doesn't, he doesn't get any run support. So if he go, and I'll tell you what, it's done. I don't care how good you are. It's very hard to go out there and be fucking perfect and not surrender any runs every single time you pitch, no matter what. But that's kind of the situation he was in. And then there was the clip going around of him on the edge of the dugout. Yeah, right here. Just like he knows it. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. It doesn't matter what I do because they don't score for me.
Little back pat.
They don't score for me. And it's like, and that actually, what Passan said last week was starting to get picked up a lot more over the weekend by like a couple baseball like aggregator accounts. Like, I think they're going to trade him sooner than later because, like, for a guy like him, like, he doesn't want to do this shit,
Let's go to a Pittsburgh Pirate fan for his entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony DeJulio, you were a part of the Sell the Team chants in PPG Paints Arena. You were obviously a person who was a Pirate fan whenever they were terrible at baseball because you were a part of the once number 4 ranked in the country high school baseball team.
I wish it was 4. We were 24, but
still good.
For Pennsylvania.
Top 25.
For PA, it's pretty good.
Go Mustangs. We're all Mustangs here.
Amen.
Love baseball. Love the Pirates. The Paul Skeens situation is obviously one that's putting a focal point on what the Pittsburgh Pirates have been under this ownership.
Yeah, this whole season I wasn't letting myself get too close to Paul because, I knew what was going to happen. But after seeing what was happening this whole season, they did nothing for him. I've decided I think I kind of wrestled with this yesterday. I think I'm no longer a Pirates fan, and I'm just going to go join whatever team Paul goes to. I think I'm just going to change fandom to that team.
I saw a tweet. And I think you're mocking that tweet right now.
No, I agreed with it.
Okay, because I do believe that people in Pittsburgh will feel a connection with Paul Skeens forever.
Yeah, I saw that tweet and I agreed with it, so yeah.
Yeah, so whenever the tweet, there's a tweet that came out that was like, I don't think the Pittsburgh Pirates are taking into account that whatever team Paul Skeens goes to, a lot of Pirates fans are just going to become a fan of that particular team. I think that's probably an accurate assessment. I think a lot of people will be Paul Skeens fans.
As long as this ownership group is still the owners, then yeah. These people fucking suck.
Sad.
He's a guy.
Yeah, and they knew that last year, and they did nothing.
He's a guy.
They haven't paid shit to anybody.
He's the guy.
They brought Kutch back.
And think about him mentally. Kutch is a dog.
Shout out.
Obviously, we like Kutch, everything he's done for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Think about mentally for him. Just like at LSU, at the SEC, those stadiums are all...
Playing in front of 30,000
national
people.
Championship.
Indianapolis here, they were upping the prices of AAA baseball tickets. People were just filing in the city to watch this guy. And then in Pittsburgh, if he's on the road, it'll be in front of a lot of people because Paul Skeens is coming to town.
Right.
But in Pittsburgh, it's like, we don't even want to support the owner, is what everybody's saying. So we don't want to show up or buy tickets. They're almost like protesting the Pirates because Paul Skeens is there. But Paul is, it's like
he's kind of the he's kind of the nail in the coffin because people were mad before, but they were like, oh, whatever. Are we actually going to be able to do anything? But now that you have this unicorn, and you have
perfect for the city.
Yeah, and then you still do nothing. Then it's like, oh, okay.
Like Tyrese Halliburton, perfect for Indianapolis and the Indiana Pacers. Like perfect match. Coach Carlisle, perfect coach. This is the type of, like when you have that, it's like a good situation. I think best situation. Paul Skeens is like perfect for Pittsburgh. Like that is literally, He likes it, doesn't mind hard work, mustache sometimes, like the whole thing. America, let's go. Like gritty, like everything about him is like, this guy is perfect for the city. And it's like, well, ownership doesn't think or care. So
it makes it worse. It almost makes the whole thing worse because it's like, how do you ever have hope as a Pirates fan if you got this dude he is the man, and this is what happens. So all of a sudden they're going to trade him away, and now then what? Then you do got to sell the team.
Well, that's why I think people don't really, because like he is the guy right now, but like the Pirates have been in this situation multiple times. Like Garrett Cole was Paul Skeens 10 years ago, and Glasnow, same thing. It's like that's what happens. These guys aren't appreciated by the Pirates. They leave. They go win a World Series somewhere. They win a Cy Young somewhere else. But like with Skeens, like I can't imagine what it's like because like
he could start at any team.
He would be the ace for damn near any team. Maybe 28 teams. He'd be the best pitcher in the rotation for damn near every pitching staff in the major.
And he doesn't care about any of that. Okay, he naps and plays baseball. Like that is what he does. But there has to be people around him that are like, Dodgers are in front of 40,000 people. Paul Skeens, imagine Paul, the athlete that he is, in front, like that juices, I assume.
Oh, yeah.
Games that matter.
That's when you see guys throwing like, oh, he's got a little extra. Like last night, the Yankees starting pitcher who they paid a bunch of money for. His fastball is usually like 93, 94 miles an hour. They're playing on Sunday Night Baseball against the Mets. His first fastball of the night, he's throwing 98. It's like those guys, you get up a little bit and it's like, oh, shit, like this one matters a little bit more.
But D-Butts keeps buying the hat and this ownership just keeps breaking it.
But then you talk about like the legacy part of it too. Like it's unfortunate, but like his strikeout numbers will be insane. His ERA will be insane, but like he's not winning games because they don't fucking score runs for him. So like he might have one of the best seasons of any pitcher in the MLB this year, and he might end up going like 9-13, and like that's just not right.
Can he hit? He can hit, right? He used to hit.
Well, they got rid of the pitcher hitting, but he could pinch hit on one of his off days.
They need, when he's pitching, he needs to get out there.
Could do like Devers for Skeens right now.
Poor guy.
I know who that is.
Sucks.
The answer is no. We're going to need 14 first-round picks.
Yeah. That ain't happening.
All of them.
No, you want established players.
Okay, we're not going to do that. Established players you got to pay.
Pirates don't want established.
What are you talking about?
Well, that's the thing. It'd be one thing if the owner was like, you know what, for like 2-3 years, we'll eat into these gross profits we're making every single year, and we'll pay a competitive roster and go front. And then, if it doesn't work out, you reload, you rebuild, you sell off, and you recoup those gross, fat stacks of cash that you're getting from the league every year. But they don't. They just continuously, year after year, just collect,
and this guy
and let everyone leave. This
guy walks through the stadium and they say, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
All of Pittsburgh says.
Look what he did to the bricks.
Yeah, it turns out that was a lie. They
lied to us about the bricks.
They came to them and they were like, "Hey, would you like to do something special with these bricks? Like, I know we're gonna get rid of them." And he was like, "Nah, fuck it, throw them away." And then that guy was like, "Oh, that was like a very special memory I had with my deceased father." And he's like, "Oh, sorry, we had no idea. We'll try to find it for you."
Yeah, it's in
to the bottom of the river.
You're all right, Skeens.
And what they did with that
the Pacers are in the conference finals.
Found a new drink.
Who gives a fuck about baseball right now?
Yeah, you're right. But for our guy, Paul Skeens,
I feel bad for him. I do. It does.
We should let the world know that, hey, this guy, he doesn't have a winning record, not going to be in the playoffs. He's really good.
I'll tell you what, nights like tonight when you don't have basketball and you don't have hockey, you're
Monday Night Raw.
Exactly. But you're wishing, that
Paul Skeens is pitching.
Skeens is on the bump and you can watch it. Yeah.
For the Dodgers. Imagine him pitching for the Dodgers.
Well, we don't need that. But
sure, his other
if he
half
wanted to
wouldn't mind
fucking
LA
Don
either.
Pinstripes.
Could you imagine Shohei Ohtani? Fucking Skeens pitching.
Them in the dugout, yucking it up, just talking shop.
I hope he goes to Boston. He feels like more of a Boston guy.
Well, that's what Connor's trying to push.
He genuinely does. And the Sox actually do have a lot of young, really good players. So, we are. I'm not going to say it this year, but, there is hope on the horizon for the Red Sox big time, and they do spend money.
He'll be a Yankee.
There's a chance, for sure.
We know.
Yeah, they're going to be very aggressive pursuing Skeens.
He's allowed to have a mustache, right?
They actually changed that. Yep. He can have as much facial hair as he wants now.
Well, that's going to matter when you get Paul Skeens in there.
I saw that down the line. As soon as he got in the major, let's change this old rule.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get a couple years. We can't say we did it just for Paul, but it will certainly be the case.
Yeah, because when Garrett Cole came, he had the big beard.
He looked terrible.
He did, and then he shaved it. It was
so
like,
much better
who
with
is
beard.
this fucking fat face guy we just gave $325 million?
Isn't it crazy how much you can change your look? James Harden with a beard, wildly different. Like Tim McAfee had a mustache for a long time as a kid growing up. He shaved his mustache. I was like, who?
This guy.
I didn't know that's what above your lip, below your nose look like.
Yeah.
Then he had a beard there for a bit, shaved it, whole new person.
I mean, when you had you had to shave your beard for a costume.
Oh my God, the worst. Yeah, the worst.
Yeah.
I'm happy we ran with that.
Yeah, it was worth it.
Happy that wasn't a full bullshit rib. Feels like still to this day. To this day, feels like it. Flat back off a cage. That felt like one too.
Shave your face. It'll be great.
Fuck it. Never mind.
Nah, we're not doing that anymore. Well, you guys gluing my fucking facial hair back on? Or what?
No, it looks great.
Yeah, you look a young man. No, I don't. That's why I keep it. Looks terrible. All right. Good Monday.
Yeah.
Indy 500 this week.
Yeah, it's race week, baby.
go.
Get the flags out.
I got them.
Flags
They've
gonna
been
win
out.
it.
They've
Who's the
been out.
favorite?
What's that?
Who's the favorite?
So, depends on how you think about favorite. You know, who's sitting on a pole is a little bit different than who's probably the favorite.
Yeah.
A rookie is currently sitting on the pole. Mr. Robert Schwartzman out of Israel, Tel Aviv, Israel. Rookie is the leader and sitting atop the pole position for the Indy 500. First time in 40 years that a rookie has won the pole. He averaged 232 miles an hour, point something, over a 4-lap qualifier. He's in there. Now, there was a couple cars that were not allowed to qualify. Penske cars. Joseph Newgarden, previous Indy 500 winner, was not allowed to qualify to sit on a pole because they had done something to the engine or welding something that was deemed illegal, so they were not allowed to qualify, although they are in the race. That is Joseph Newgarden, who was not allowed to drive a car, so he decided to take a little jog around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. They all live in there or around there basically all year, but definitely during race week, and it kind of becomes their little community in that track. And there's always some sort of drama.
Oh, yeah.
Penske owns the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He owns the IndyCar League. And he owns cars that are obviously in the Indy 500. 2 of his cars not allowed to qualify.
Still fucking with him.
There's drama.
Yes, that happens a lot. Like Penske, he's quite a character. So whenever he buys it, he loves IndyCar, and he loves the car and cars in general. So a lot of IndyCar people were happy that he bought it because he's going to care for it and everything like that. But Penske's still a dog. I mean, he is still trying to win everything. Ganassi, obviously, out there. Go ahead, pal.
No, to say the drama today is I saw they have Joseph Newgarden's car from last year that won in the museum or whatever. They went and looked. Same exact thing that got him DQ'd yesterday is on that car from last year.
See, there's always some type of drama. There's always some type of drama in there. The museum, obviously, a beautiful thing. The Indy 500 in the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is something that obviously this state loves. It's the largest sporting event in the world that this city hosts, literally downtown Indianapolis every single year. And I, from Pittsburgh, did not know a lot about it before I moved out here. These drivers are fucking insane. They are literally strapping themselves into rockets. Yeah. Into rockets. And just going around, obviously, this massive oval. In one little slip or one loose, bolt or one shift of wind can just flip your car into a sail. Literally, you're flying through the air. Colton Herta on Friday ended up crashing into a wall. Who knows what happened? Maybe just a little piece of wind. He's done bang, shoom, through the sky. He's on his head. They have a shot from inside the cockpit where he's literally just flying with debris and fire and sparks going over his head. Boom. It used to not have that rail there. It used to be completely open wheel racing, which is why they talked about it. Just 236 miles an hour. That guy was going right there. And then bang, all of a sudden, you're on your head. He wasn't the only one. McLaughlin on Saturday, I believe he was practicing or maybe during a quali. Boom. He's up on his head and then flipped over and then thrown down the track. Can happen just easy as that. They're trying to figure out weight at all times. They're trying to figure out wind. They're trying to figure out jet streams. They're trying to figure out where to turn, how to turn. And obviously McLaughlin ends up in the air, flying through the sky. And then I think everybody remembers from the Indy 500, one of the greatest of all time, Scott Dixon in 2017. I think a back wheel ends up bad for somebody else. He ends up crashing into another car. Once again, they're going 220 plus miles an hour here, 230 miles an hour. Boom, he didn't do anything, was just trying to get out of the way. He ends up flipping up over top of a car, traveling 100 yards plus, landing on top of the barricade where he was sitting. And then that's during the Indy 500. So obviously there is a hush amongst 400,000 people that are in there. And then somehow these guys get up and walk away. And then they find another car to get themselves into so they can finish the race going 200 plus miles an hour. The Indy 500 is a spectacle. Obviously, the science and everything around the cars are insane, but the drivers are so courageous. I have no idea how they strap themselves in there and do it, but it's a spectacle every single year, and Indy 500 week feels big this year. Sold out. 109th Indy 500 sold out completely. And I didn't even know that was possible. It happened for the 100th running. This one also sold out, so it's about to be a big one. And a rookie being on the pole is a massive ordeal for the sport, AJ.
So it does feel like this one, like it feels like it's almost a month long, Indy week. Like Indy, the whole 500, I feel like I've been hearing about it for 2 or 3 weeks now. But how often, yeah, it is. You got your flags up in May, I get it. But how often does the pole sitter tend to win this thing? Do they win that often?
So the statement is always like Indianapolis Motor Speedway will pick who wins because there's so many crashes. It's like this track will decide basically who's going to win. So early, there's a big one. Early, there's always a big one that knocks out like 10 people. You just got to hope you're not a part of it. So if you're in the front, I guess technically you should be able to stay out of the shit.
21 times it's happened in the 108 races. The last time was 2019 with Simon Pagenaud.
Oh, Pagenaud,
good racing.
He's good racing.
Good race.
So it should be awesome spectacle on Sunday, and it's not blacked out here, so we can watch it on TV.
Nice.
If we're
Let's
not
go.
able to get there, that's a big
Is
deal.
Larson doing the double?
Yes, Kyle Larson will be doing double. I think Kyle Larson will be coming into studio on Wednesday.
Let's go.
Oh, hell yeah.
He wrecked too, right?
Has.
Practice.
Has.
No, I thought like this week. I thought I saw a video of it. I could be
Thursday,
wrong.
maybe?
Could be wrong.
It's crazy, dude. All you need is just one.
It's insane.
You probably saw F1. Yuki wrecked.
Yuki.
I did see that right into the fence.
Ukulele.
That's the shunt. No, Yuki Tsunoda.
Oh.
He wrecked? I didn't know you could wreck in
Quali.
F1.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Big,
I
yeah.
thought they were on a track or on like a little.
Yeah, like a rail.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
of the best drivers ever, Ayrton Senna. He actually passed in Imola out in Italy, and it was a big, obviously scary wreck. That's where they just raced this weekend. But yeah, they have some big. Oh yeah,
They're crazy. How fast F1 cars going? Because they're bigger than the Indy cars.
They're bigger, and the tracks are, I guess more dynamic, have a little more character. But
we have street courses
they
too.
get up they get up to about 215ish.
215.
That's it?
I think, like I said, it's different.
But
It's
they're
different.
going faster.
It's different. I mean, this guy was this rookie. I'm familiar with his name. Yeah, he was
Schwartzman?
Yeah, he was a reserve driver in F1. I remember it through the academy, so I'm glad he's found his footing, having some success, sitting on pole. First time, how many years?
40. 43 maybe. First time in 43 years. of
43.
rookies sitting on a pole.
So this is
Press.
like the bad guy in Talladega Nights is what this is.
No, he handled himself very, very well. And, it would make sense that the F1 guy would do very well and there's no other cars on the track.
Sure.
That would make a lot of sense. But whatever the case, being the fastest at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, first time.
Big deal.
Big deal. Yeah. Unbelievable. In his third lap, he was going a little bit slower than his fourth lap. So it's like normally first lap's your fastest because your tires are the best. Grip matters. Mm-hmm. Then second lap get a little bit slower, third lap get a little bit slower, then your fourth lap get a little bit slower. Then it's the average of the 4 laps. Whatever that speed is, that's how they figure out who and how you are seated. Top 12, fast 12 or whatever are kind of racing amongst themselves for who is the top 12 starting positions. That's kind of what Fast Saturday, Fast Friday, whatever the case, that's the qualifiers. So it's a 4-lap average as opposed to just a 1-lap average, which is Schwartzman brought up. Is like, it's hard because it's not just 1 lap. Like normally it's just 1 lap, your best shit. This one's 4. His third lap, he was going a slower speed than his fourth lap, which I don't know how that makes sense because his tires should be worse for the fourth lap. So it feels like he's learning as he's kind of going, much like Kyle Larson was doing last year during the Indy 500. I'm excited to watch them all. I think it's good for the sport to get that involved. He was asked afterwards about the country in which he's from, Israel, and everything going on. Gave a great answer. I mean, just like, feels like he's a professional.
Didn't that grow up in Russia too?
Yeah.
It's a good point by you, though, because since he's in first to start, when a car passes him, he's going to, what the fuck was that? Who is someone else on the track with me right now?
Somebody get this guy off.
What the hell? They can pass in this?
We don't get it.
You don't get it.
You guys didn't see Van der Stappen's legendary all time.
What did Van der Stappen do? He won?
Oh,
turn one.
Just the turn one move he put on this weekend.
What did he do? A slingshot?
Some will call it
Shake and bake, if you will.
It was a bit of a cutoff move.
Yeah, the McLarens have been the most dominant car all year long, so they had pole position. He just did his thing and Verstappen football from then on out.
He won, Van der Stappen?
He did. Had a couple stoppages. But
Congratulations, Van der Stappen.
Nice.
Did you see Dell and Logano were battling this weekend? Logano and Dell?
I didn't.
Logano was allegedly not happy with the move.
He's pouting.
Joey was pissed.
Joey was pouting about what Dell did, and Dell said, I'd seen Joey do.
Oh, yeah.
I seen Joey do worse moves. And I thought we were doing some good racing. These boys were.
Damn.
I mean, it was dancing. They were really dancing in NASCAR. It was awesome to watch. I'll tell you what, when the boys are battling,
it's awesome.
It is great.
The finish to last year's Indy 500 was fucking sweet. Where Newgarden is
moving,
like trying to battle up front, like that. That stuff is really cool.
And the no drag, trying to get people off your ass, like the entire. That's like the difference between.
We have that too. We got DRS. We got all the same. Well, not the same shit. It's better actually.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Okay, we'll see.
People just get deterred by the
follow the
laps. That's what people.
Yeah, because they think it's 500 laps.
Bingo.
It's 500 miles.
Yeah.
So it's not 500. It's 200 laps.
Yeah, but even the 200 people will. I feel like even that is so much that people are like, okay, I'll check in at the start, and then I'll check in the middle, and then I'll check.
The beginning you need to watch.
Have to.
The beginning of it all is the spectacle at the beginning of it, the pageantry of the Indy 500. They do that very, very well. And then obviously the beginning, there's chaos.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Tom Brady doing the flag this year?
He's doing a car.
Oh, okay.
There's a little slingshot.
Yeah, right.
He's gonna be in the pace car.
Yeah, probably the pace car. There's a pace car, then there's an Andretti car that you ride along. There's like 2-3 cars in the front of the entire thing.
Like that was nuts.
Yeah, they're going 200
to
whatever
win
it is.
Yeah, this is some impressive shit.
The Indy 500 is a real deal.
The crowd is.
It really is.
I went
the real
to
race.
The 100th. Yeah, it was. The crowd is. It's crazy.
Schwartzman doesn't have a sponsor? Is that what we read?
No, yeah, I read from I think Will Buxton. He said that he does not have like a main sponsor yet.
I assume that some company will get in.
Yeah, probably last night.
Price just went up. I don't know how he was able to win the poll without a sponsor. I don't know how that happened.
It's crazy.
Like condomdepot.com will come in and sponsor them like they used to, put the fake tattoos on boxers and UFC guys.
Yeah, maybe Condom Depot. Maybe.
They were big back in the day.
There's a chance Lily here in Indy just goes, you want a couple $1,000,000?
Yeah,
I think I read his crew chief was working at SpaceX the last 2 years.
Okay, so maybe X gets on board.
Yeah.
Did you see 60 Minutes? The guy that created the Oculus and sold it to Facebook has a mullet, first of all.
Legend.
Mullet. Got fired.
yeah.
Did you see this on? He was on this weekend.
What's his name? Yeah, I've seen different things he's doing. Yeah, what's his name?
He's building the drones now. He's building the military drones.
For us?
Hey.
I think he's selling them.
Oh, boy.
No.
Highest bidder.
Well, we are the highest bidders.
I don't know about that.
I think there are some others that have drone game pretty strong as well. But he goes from making the Oculus into making these drones, and he's got this beautiful mullet. Beautiful mullet. Can you look up the 60 Minutes article of this guy? Because the grooming of his hair in this thing. He had a Hawaiian.
He just built a big plant in Ohio too. A big plant that they have like all the Intel, all the those giant data centers.
Good.
He built something here.
Hey, drop the pin there, brother. Let everybody know. Jeez.
The fuck?
Oh, it's very public. It is a very public situation.
Yeah, they're huge. He's building like fighter plane sized drones. There he is. That was him. Look at that. That was it. I'm walking through the living room. 60 Minutes is on because it was post something, maybe golf.
Golf. Yeah.
It was post golf. I'm walking through the living room. I see this guy. I go, what the hell is this thing? And then all of a sudden I hear him talk, and I'm like, oh, this is Super Genius. This is a Super Genius. And I guess he's now pretty much, I don't know. The way they're making it sound like he is the one.
Got good news.
Yeah,
I got good news. It's the headline is tech billionaire wants to remake the U.S. military with autonomous.
Okay.
weapons.
Okay, so that's America.
Don't like that
You need
either.
pilots, though. I don't love that.
Well, no, there will always be pilots. Mav will always.
I
have
know.
pilots.
Do we want to break that? No. Tomorrow. We have huge news.
We bought an F-22.
Yeah. Bingo.
No, we did not. No, we did not. No, not a bad idea.
You get a Harrier jet, you can land it right out there, right outside the Thunderdome.
Bingo.
I've seen one of those at an airport. Just see ya.
Yep.
I'm like, wow, the future is awesome. It's like, I don't know how these
Crazy.
things. Yeah, I don't know how we are able to do that.
The shit that we have or that's out there that we have no idea about.
Exactly. Yeah, that stuff's cool and we know about it. The stuff that we don't know about is even cooler.
The cost of an F-22 Raptor fighter jet is estimated to be between 150 to 190 million. We did not buy one of those. Just like that to be a matter of fact.
Sure.
You know, jeez.
Is that brand new?
Look at 190 million per aircraft. That tech billionaire was like, how do I make
10,000 miles?
All the money in the world. I make these fighter jets.
Just 10 of them.
That don't. Yeah, I just sell a bunch of those. Jesus. Those big brain guys got it figured out.
Yeah.
We got a massive guest coming on the show this week.
Huge.
Massive, AJ.
Like physically massive or
both?
I think you would just say a Goliath.
Yeah.
A Goliath is on the show this week.
Okay. Sweet.
I don't even think he knows.
Hogger? Or
I assume not.
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think AJ knows. AJ, big guest this week. Wait
Okay.
until you see.
Can't wait.
You're going to fucking lose it.
Truly.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's his biggest guest.
It's not a work, AJ.
I mean,
so many names going through my head.
The Rock.
He's in that pantheon.
Yeah, he's
The
up.
Rock.
He's up there with LeBron. Or could it be a she? I don't know.
Well, it sounds like we've pretty much alluded to it being a dude.
I don't know though.
Yeah, we have.
He doesn't even know who it is, and he's fully on board. Could be a she.
Could be.
Never know. What I do know is big.
Yeah.
Huge.
And on that note, let's get the fuck out of here. Monday Night Raw night in South Carolina. It's going to be a huge week.
Yeah.
Go.
Shout out to Tyrese Halliburton. We'll run that video here to wrap up the program of our conversation earlier from the Pacer fan named Hans Perez, who was over there in New York wearing his Halliburton jersey, and he got, attacked a little bit.
Sure.
Just know a good story comes out of that entire thing because Tyrese Halliburton, that man is an absolute legend. We'll be back tomorrow with a massive Tuesday. Huge Monday Night Raw tonight.
Huge.
8 p.m. Eastern on Netflix. We'll be in South Carolina. It's going to be 1,000 degrees down there. I just thought about that.
Oh yeah.
Look for my face to be a nice color of red, potentially like this Ram truck right here or this DoorDash mug.
Sure.
Not that it isn't usually, but those high humidity areas really cook me from the inside and the outside.
Yeah, opposite.
I'm a little bit worried about that, actually. I should have been thinking about it. I should have been preparing for this all goddamn day. I feel like I've been properly hydrated.
Yeah, there's no prep. You don't even know if you want to be more hydrated. You still just
sweat it all
make
out.
you even more sweaty.
I start sweating in some of these places, and somebody will come over and be like, do you want to pat that off? And it's like, why? As soon as I do that, it's coming again. Just like the pressure washer with the goose shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
I need those Canadian geese to be.
You just got to kill them.
Buy a wolf.
Just kill them.
Buy a monkey. Put a monkey out there.
Scarecrow?
I had a scarecrow wolf thing that they're supposed to be scared of.
Just kill them.
These fucking geese just walked right up to that thing.
Actually, you know what probably would do it?
Just walk
An
away.
animatronic Halloween scarecrow, like those 6-foot things that.
Tim McAfee's got an idea. I don't know if you heard. We got a fucking full-on squawker coming up.
Bear right there.
Dude, I'm telling you, they will see that bear and shit on that bear.
needs to
They
move.
know. These things are smart.
They will.
Yeah.
These things like to gossip, too. These little Canadian geese.
Always have.
You could just
So
have
you gotta set
Bill
an
camp
example.
out there. You could eat them all.
Ooh.
Bam Cubs? I don't know if you're allowed to eat Canadian geese.
No, the poop.
All right. Let's get out of here. Big guest this week. If you got any Canadian geese answers, send them my way. And yes, I know you're going to say shoot them in the head.
Sure.
I've already thought of that.
Yep.
I've actually fake gunned all of them.
They don't even know.
I'll sit next to Sam and Mackenzie. Sam's like, what are you doing? I'm like, this problem could be over.
Mm-hmm.
If I had Jack Carr-like abilities with a gun of some sort, 22 probably. The issue is with how flat Indiana is.
Yeah, things going right into a window.
Yeah, there's no, and the water on the other side too.
exactly.
Who knows?
Yeah.
So that's the issue.
You got to get a crow's nest.
So I got to build up a backstop.
Elevated position, fire from.
Do you want Jack Carr?
I don't think Jack Carr's allowed to kill these things. I looked it up. You're not allowed to just shoot their heads off.
Frozen paintballs at them. There won't be any evidence.
No, yeah.
I think their heads will explode. But I'll pressure wash that shit out.
That's why you get a sword. You can eat good all year.
Cleaner.
Canadian geese is delicious.
I don't know if anybody eating Canadian geese. I assume they're very greasy like a duck.
Yeah, it's a delicacy.
Or greasy like a
chicken.
Oh.
If you put rice out there, they just blow up, right?
Different idea.
I don't know. Honestly, at this, anything, I know everybody's just thinking about how we kill these things.
You put Coke in the bird feeder.
Cocaine?
No, Coca-Cola.
Or either one.
Their tiny little bird stomachs can't handle it.
So there's swans too around, and these things are supposed to protect this land. The swans are supposed to not get along with the geese.
Not these swans.
Yeah, not these geese either. These things got no fear. Then there's two bald eagles that live, and it's like, yo, America.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
Every time I go, yo, they fly away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what are we doing? Why don't we just sit right here fucking kill them all?
Oh, do you have speakers out there?
Tim's taking 2 of them.
Yeah.
Big ones out there. I think it's going to be squawking. Yeah. So everybody on the lake needs to know that there's a thump coming. And that is 2 speakers that Tim McAfee's putting out there to try to get these Canadian geese. I'll get out there fucking later and they'll be fucking dancing. Whatever this thing is. They got the most moxie, these fucking things. These courageous Canadian geese. They never stop pooping.
Yeah.
I don't know when. Do they just poop all the time? I think they just poop all the time.
Used to cover our soccer fields back home.
See, let you Canadians deal with this.
We tried.
Get them out of my country. What?
It's like the feral hogs, man. You have to get rid of them. You have to.
Your feral hogs are allowed to hunt. You're allowed to send dogs.
When are we going to open that up on these things?
It's almost
I've
as
seen
if
those videos. Those are wild.
Yeah.
Just hanging off the edge.
It's almost as if the geese aren't real and they don't want you to kill them to find out what's inside them.
All right. On that note, we'll be back tomorrow.
Maybe.
Ladies and gentlemen, use the hashtag. No, we haven't come up with one. We'll do it tomorrow. Okay. I was going to have people guess who the guest is. We'll do it tomorrow. We'll put some effort into this giveaway because if you guess who's coming on, I think it should be celebrated.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to expect this person.
Yeah.
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice about change your life. We're in this thing together. Congrats to your daughter winning Player of the Year.
Thank you. Love you, Maya.
Congrats to you, AJ, splunking in your backyard.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Connor, congrats to you. The Red Sox are getting better this year.
Congrats to you, man. That brew's getting better as well.
It's not. It's getting worse.
It gets worse.
You know what's getting better? The eye. Eye's getting better.
Yep, exactly.
Still got a little bit around there, but the eye's getting better. Went in public this weekend. I was like, everybody just thinks I'm shit-faced probably right now, hungover because my eye's all bloodshot. They don't know I fought an Austrian, man.
Yeah.
They might know.
They don't know.
Now they know.
Ty, congrats to...
I passed the kidney stone this weekend.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Congrats. Okay.
It's awesome.
Tone, congrats to you, man.
Thank you.
You did it.
I did it. I did some home improvement projects the last couple of days.
Me too, pressure washing.
Yeah. I put up a shiplap ceiling.
You put up a ceiling?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Holy fuck. Congratulations.
Tony Dogs.
I don't think anybody would have thought you would have been able to do that.
No way.
Fucking
Coach
taught me well.
I've seen some of your DIY work.
Do you do it yourself?
No. I'm going to get somebody else to do it. Okay?
Hell yeah. That's why you work.
Exactly.
Great job in the back, boys. Up to Something season is happening. Massive guest is happening this week. Summer is right around the corner. Indy 500 this weekend. South Carolina tonight, Monday Night Raw on Netflix, 8 p.m. Eastern. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice about change your life. We're in this thing together. Team on me, team on 3. 1, 2, 3, team. Goodbye.
She's trying to save the day. Oh, shit. Yo.
Ladies and gentlemen, Everybody saw that video captivate the entire internet. And obviously the entire city of New York got buried for it. Like, what a bunch of scumbags. That was a conversation. My conversation was, who was this man that was willing to stare down 100-some people in the streets of New York just days before the Eastern Conference Finals between the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we found him. New York firefighter, Hans Perez. How are you, man?
How you doing, guys? I'm good, man. I made it out.
Yes, you certainly did. We appreciate you joining us here. Can I just ask? You're a Pacer. Was this a rage bait type thing? You were trying to bait these people into this? Or are you a Pacers fan? How did you become a Pacers fan in New York City?
I'm a Pacers fan for life, man. They got my heart when I was a kid, and I just stuck with them ever since. I loved Reggie Miller, O'Neal, Artest, Steven Jackson Pacers. Then Danny Granger came along, loved the Danny Granger Pacers. Then Paul George came along, loved the Paul George Pacers. Oladipo came, loved the Oladipo Pacers, And now we're here with the Halliburton Pacers, man. The Halliburton Pacers. We're going to get those Knicks, man. We got to get them.
I love that. I love everything about it. What were you thinking was going to happen whenever you went out there? Were you walking home, or how did you kind of find yourself in that situation?
Oh, man, my in-laws live about roughly 20 blocks away around West 50th Street. So I was dropping the kids off. My daughter had a basketball tournament the next day. I was working, couldn't make it. So in-laws were taking them. I said, you know what? I've been wearing my jersey all playoffs long. I've been supporting my Pacers. I've been wearing it all wrong, but I haven't went by Madison Square Garden with the jersey. So I said, I'm not going to go. I don't know if I should go into the mob, but I'm going to go close by, feel the energy, get ready for the series. It could make the series even better when the Pacers beat the Knicks. But I want to feel this, I want to feel this, Last year, Game 7, Pacers-Knicks, I was there. I was at the Garden. I had tickets. I was there with the Pacers jersey. They were a little nicer. It wasn't a Friday night, but now this year, they got me. They got me.
Were you panicked a little bit in there or not? Because I did some research on you. Obviously, you're a firefighter, but also I believe you have a little sweet science background. Were you nervous in there? What were your thoughts as it was kind of all happening?
All right, at fun. At first, it was like dudes just talking smack to me. It was a little fun, dudes were just going back and forth. But then it started getting a little more handsy. Dudes wanted the jersey. They said the jersey got to come off. So then I started getting a little nervous. I'm looking, where's the nearest police? Who's going to save me? Anybody here to save me? Then the mob just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm trying to just walk. I was just trying to walk. I'm like, let me stay calm. Let me walk. I know if I run, who knows what that turns into. I've seen that movie before. When you run, someone tripped me or someone, it could get worse. So I just tried to walk. I was like, let me stay calm. Let me just tell guys, calm down, chill. The series didn't start yet. Come on. Trying to say whatever I can to buy me some time.
How'd you get out of there? How did you get out of there? Because we don't see the video, obviously, after that. How did they just stop? They got tired? Your boxing background, the cardio wore them out? What was it?
There wasn't no boxing. The cardio maybe, but I just kept going. I just kept walking. I just kept saying, calm down. Because right there, it pans away. You can't. It looks like I just got swallowed into the mob. But I just go. I keep walking. I'm like, oh, man, I see some cop cars up that way. Maybe if I could just make it up to that next block, I should be hopefully fine. And then so I just try to keep walking, try to stay calm, just pushing dudes' hands off my jersey, blocking. I got a
Still got it? Still got the jersey? Okay, we still got the jersey. Good news.
Jersey's here. The jersey's intact.
Hey, can you show, because I think I saw a picture of maybe a tat that you have too. A lot of people maybe don't think. Yeah, all right.
Boom.
Yeah, this dude's die hard, okay? I love everything about it.
Man, this is one of my first tattoos. Like 17 years old, man. Got it, would have got it.
Nice little kitchen tat. Love everything about it. Obviously, here's you with the fam. Pacers hat, Pacers jersey. Happy to see that you're a real Pacers fan. Sorry that happened to you, but we actually have a special guest who wants to talk to you. Ladies and gentlemen, the point guard for the Indiana Pacers out of Iowa State, Tyrese Halliburton.
Hans, what's up, bro? What's up, brother?
Tyrese, what the hell? My man, how you doing?
Yeah. I'm good, bro. How are you? I'm glad you made it out the jungle alive, bro. I'm glad you're still here with us, man. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, man, it was rough. I feel like I'm going to war with you guys, man.
Well, speaking of going to war with us, I wanted to hit you Pat told me he found you yesterday, called me. I said, I got to get on the show and talk to him myself. I want to personally bring you and a +1 out here to come to Game 4 here in Indiana. I'll bring you guys out here, put you guys up, get you guys seats to the game. The Pacers, everybody in our organization wants to make sure you're taken care of. All the teams excited to meet you. It's all we've been talking about. Everybody's seen the video. So, man, we want to bring you out here. And, yeah, man, I'm really excited about that. So
You in, Hans? I believe that's on Tuesday. You're able to make the trip. I know scheduling, obviously, as a firefighter or something.
You know, I gotta talk to the guys. I mean, I'm pretty sure we could work something out where I could to come see that.
Hey, make sure that's first class.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sorry, sir?
Make sure that flight's first class, Hans. You know, this guy's max deal.
I don't mind. I don't mind, Coach. That's okay. I don't mind. But hey, thank you. I just want to say thank you, Tyrese, man. Yo, you are awesome. The team is awesome. I appreciate that. And, man, let's go Pacers, man. Let's go Pacers.
We'll see you on Tuesday, Hans. We'll see you on Tuesday, right?
Hopefully, yes. God willing, let's go. Let's
Okay.
go. Hopefully I can make it,
Tyrese,
guys.
you're a good man.
I'll have my
Tyrese.
people. My people reach out, but again, I just want to make sure I tell you, I appreciate the way you handled that with such class. I know that's a hectic, crazy time, and I appreciate the way you handled that. I appreciate you showing love to the organization, showing love to myself personally. That means the world to me, man. And that video, when I saw it, I was shocked. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, but I'm glad that we found you, and hopefully I can meet you here within the next week. That'd be pretty awesome. So appreciate you again, man. Pat, thank you so much.
You good? We good? We doing this?
Hey.
I'm in.
I'm good. I'm in.
All right, boom, made magic. We appreciate you, Hans. Tyrese, you're the man for this. Tyrese actually was the one that hit me up and said, hey, can we find this guy? And that's why I put out the tweet that was like, somebody find this man. And with the, there's a lot of drawbacks of the internet. There's a lot of drawbacks of things. But being able to find you, Tyrese was the one that wanted me to basically put out the search. And whenever, I think it was one of your coworkers, I believe, said, hey, I know this guy. And then Bruce Brown went on the hunt, started sending messages. The fact that we were able to find you is a gift from the internet. And the fact that you are putting on for the Pacers is good for our team as we head into the Eastern Conference Finals. We appreciate the hell out of both of you.
Yes, sir.
Man,
Hans, appreciate it, bro.
That's
yes,
good
sir.
shit, baby. That's good shit.